Okay, all in readiness here on the Angus Securities Game of the Day. Your first caller will be Paul Blandis, and the game just about to get underway as players are in position, and Brett Backwell has got those fluorescent yellow boots, so he's not going to be too hard to miss out today.
So Cranston will go at it with Marek, was the bloke that I omitted before, that will be helping Micklejohn. So certainly going to be pretty interesting. Ivan Marek, the AFL-listed ruckman with Adelaide. So Cranston in there. Bryce Gibbs is in the square. Backwell also for Glenelg, Mules. Chad Davis, a big game for him. Jeremy Clayton and also Elstone. There's the ball up. Probably half a point there to Cranston getting the tap away. The umpire comes in and have our first ball up for the afternoon after about 10 seconds of play. So it hasn't really moved at all. There's Benny Moore, of course, in his 100th game today, the fireman. So there's the secondary ball up, if you like. No one getting a clear palm to it. Marek trying to get involved as well. Players gone over. Marek, gee, did it well. Got it to a player there in Lindsay Thomas. But it's going to be a free kick being paid here. Yep. To the Bays. They're kicking into the breeze. That's the northern end. So Moore's got it. He plays on immediately to Backwell. The option wasn't good, but he's now got Panozzo running centre wing grandstand side. The left boot pass. He's looking pretty good. And Matthew Graham takes the mark. What an impressive debut he had here a few weeks ago. Graham goes inside 50 with a kick. Gee, there's a loose man for the Bays who's taken the mark, and Cranston all on his own. Corey Archie nowhere to be seen. Cranston goes back now. The kick won't make the distance, but he wasn't going for it. And a Bay mark has been taken about 15 metres out. That's Matthew Graham. So he's followed that up beautifully. No, it's not. It's Mark Rewalt. So good start to the Tigers.
Certainly was a good start to the Tigers. Cranston got it in quick. He knew that he couldn't make the distance with the breeze kicking straight into it, and he saw two players on the one, and Rewalt was the one that actually marked the ball, and he's lining up now 15 metres out, virtually directly in front. So a good start to the Tigers. If he can kick this goal, does just that, I think. He has kicked the goal, and the Tigers have got the first on the board, and it's only after 1 minute here on the Angus Securities Game of the Day. The Marble Bar scoreboard says it's Glenelg, one straight goal, and Port Adelaide yet to score. Good work by the midfielders again. Again, it was Brackwell that got the ball out of the centre, saw the player there in Graham, gave it to Graham. It's Matthew Graham. He turned around, kicked it to the hot spot at centre forward, and Cranston was there all on his own. He marked, looked up and saw Rewalt. Rewalt accepted the mark and then turned around and kicked the goal. So good start to the Tigers, boys.
Yeah, Rewalt, premiership player for the South Gambia Demons, age 16, has kicked 15 goals thus far this season. A good fall-up forward. Great goal for the Tigers into the breeze to get this game underway as the umpire throws it up in the middle of the Glenelg Oval. Rucks go to it. It's tapped down to no one's particular advantage. Going in hard there was Marek trying to send it forward. Bodies flying every. Umpire's found...
The free kick.
Yeah, free kick, and it's going to go to Marek, right in the centre of the Glenelg Oval. So for the first time this afternoon, the Magpies to go forward. In fact, might even be their first possession. The kick inside forward 50, no one in particular. Hinge running onto the ball. Slattery's doing all already. He's right by the boundary. Willits in pursuit. Comes back now. Although his hand passes right to McConnell. So McConnell's got it now. Best on ground for the Tigers last week. He finds his long-sleeved teammate in Backwell. Comes in board looking for Moore, who has to sit under it.
Mark.
And the man that made the banner for has taken a strong mark. The size to play on, maybe not the best choice. Coming in hard there was former teammate in Butcher. Hand pass out to Sherwood, a fair way up from a full back, and he's found the goal scorer in Mark Wood. Right in front of the RPH commentary crew, the interchange bench, grandstand side of the Glenelg Oval.
And that kick barely went 15 metres, but anyway, it was paid a mark to Rewalt. He kicks it forward to Willits from behind. Is he going to be paid the mark? No, because he didn't end up taking it. Clayton's wrapped up in the tackle. Allen takes him over the line, and the 70s field umpire there in Anthony Nameed officiating says it'll be a ball in. So ball in just a little bit in front of half forward for the Bays. They're going to the northern end. 1 straight 6 to zip to Port on the Marble Bar scoreboard. So the Bays kicking to the breeze, doing a good job. There's the boundary lines thrown. A Port Adelaide player is tackled and drops the footy with the red jocks on as well. And now it's gone back over the boundary line. Benny Moore comes in and says, Troy Butcher, don't like you anymore.
Just in that, why wasn't that actually holding the ball? Because he actually had time to get rid of it, was tackled and dropped the ball.
Well, he did. That was Lindsay Thomas involved there, and certainly no love lost for Troy Butcher. Benny Moore making that point very loud and clear right in front of the coach's boxes there. So there's the boundary line thrown right in front of centre wing and RPH commentary crew. Allen is wrapped up in the tackle. Jeremy Clayton says, I'm not your best friend today either. Backwell, his opposite number 2, comes in and says, nothing doing there.
Well, this is certainly a stash like the 70s, Paul. And, of course, Ty Allen at the moment has the job on the mercurial Jeremy Clayton. It's Elstone up against Backwell. That's the matchup as I can see them. And, well, the umpire says play on. And agree with there, Paul, as it comes down to Cranston. His kick smothered going straight up in the air. Comes in the lap of Allen, and he is tackled everywhere. 3 Magpies had hold of him simultaneously as the ball lands. Then another ball up. So if you just joined us, 4 minutes gone thanks to Grand Central. Glenelg scored in the opening minute. They're going into a reasonably strong breeze, and they've got the clearance from Cranston out to Mills. His kick, it will fall short for the Tigers, so playing in front of that in the ground will be important, and that's what the Magpies have done, and they've taken the mark. So clearing it now, looking for Butcher and Moore. Butcher's got to do some work. He taps it forward, picks it up well, nice. He's got a couple of teammates to go to there in at Davis. Davis to Elstone. Elston, was he collected after he kicked? Umpire says no as they're heading for Micklejohn up forward. Rock Harry's fighting for the ball now. He's at ground level. Got a couple of Tigers right in front of the Marble Bar scoreboard. It's a stalemate, a ball up. And it shows that Marble Bar scoreboard. The Tigers up by one straight sausage roll.
Yeah, so a very interesting start here. The Bays kicking a goal into the breeze. There's the ball up. Micklejohn it was getting a half tap, half kick away. Player for Port Adelaide wrapped up in the tackle. That was Harry. And a player there, I think it might be Kyle Jenner, is getting his head out of the turf now. In pretty much halfway between the forward pocket and centre half forward on the outer side in that southeastern pocket. There's another throw up it was on that occasion. Gee, Polton ran through with the long sleeves on, but he's wrapped up in the tackle, holding the ball, and advantage paid to Benny Mills. He rebounds from defensive 50 with a kick. It's taken by the class machine, and that's Richard Douglas. This bloke is destined for higher honours. Don't worry about that. He's on the defensive side of centre wing, outer side. He plays on immediately now. Your kick travels a pretty good distance indeed. Getting a spoil was a Port Adelaide player there, number 22, and that was Dane Fitzgerald. And the Bays, they've got it here, but Port Adelaide have snaffled it, and they're going backwards. Lindsay Thomas will get the ball on the bounce. He actually goes into his defensive 50 as he grabs it. He now rebounds from 50 with the left boot and kicks it to centre wing grandstand side with the loose player is Butcher. The Bays fans don't like him. Johnny Hinge, that's a superb tackle. PDK highlight holding the ball centre wing grandstand side. The hand pass ends up with Benny Moore, and that came with Rogers. Rogers has kicked it inside 50. It overwent Ruwalt. What can he do now? He's running onto it, but coming in is Jeremy Clayton to relieve some pressure, but they're still under at Port Adelaide. Number 6 there getting wrapped up in the tackle, Eilert, and it's going to be a ball up inside forward 50 for the Bays. That is team morale building stuff there, Darryl.
Oh, the PDK highlight from the tackle there from the Glenelg player was Johnny Hinge. Absolutely superb stop. Butcher in his tracks.
And Butcher was best on ground for the Magpies in their win earlier at Albert, and so often you find that teammates as it comes loose. Allen's got, he's trying to break free of King, can't do so. Now he gets the handball. Umpire says play, and it comes to Graham. Graham from 38 with a snapshot over the goal. Umpire's head. 2 goals to the Tigers. The Magpies haven't troubled the scorers yet. First to Graham in game number 3, and every time we call him, he certainly impresses with his finishing. And so 7 minutes gone thanks to Grand Central, and a fantastic start, Darryl, to the Tigers.
Well, it certainly is a great start. 2 goals into this breeze, and we estimate it's probably worth about 5 or 6. But this kid, Matthew Graham, has just got poise all about him. He's very, very centred. He knows what he's doing, and he knows when he has to kick the goal. And there he was 35 metres out, turned to look and kicked direct to the goal. Fantastic play.
Umpire now balls it up. It's still a stalemate right in the middle of that hard cricket pitch, which is starting to break up a little bit now. Umpire will take it in again and ball it up. So Magpies going with the breeze. They've only been inside 50 twice for no goals. Glenelg inside 50 3 times for 2 majors. As the Magpies go back more, Backwell goes back to Panozzo, coming back from whence it came now the kick.
Well done.
A couple of Tigers, well, 3 Tigers there front and square, including Bryce Gibbs, who sends it forward. Eilert's in front position. He's given a push in the 25. Back by Kirkby, which from my definition is 25. Umpire agrees. And actually might have been Matty Doldig the infringer on that occasion. And he's, of course, number 25 for the Tigers. So Ireland in the centre of the ground. He just goes long towards the centre half forward mid. Goes over the top of everybody. At the back of the pack, Sherwood gets his hands on it. Comes to Mills. Mills the quick hand pass back. That might be Mitchell. His kick is smothered. Has to go back and get it. Ben Moore doing well. He picks it up. Has to get around a few Magpies. He's got a hand pass to Panozzo. Now to Mitchell. Mitchell about 60 out from the Tigers, from the Magpies goal. He has to run away from Jenner. And there's Backwell, who always seems to be by himself. Locken attempting to do some defensive coverage, but too many Tigers as Backwell finds Sherwood. Sherwood centres it up. There's some Magpies. King brings it down. Eilert there and help if King can get it to him. He actually gets it to Elstone, who's tackled straight away by his co-number 14 in Allen. It springs loose to Eilert. It comes out now to Polton. Backwell's on Polton's hammer and tack, but Polton gets the hand pass away to Locken. He's right by the boundary line, and Harry takes the mark. He's a 55 out. You'd think too far out the score. He wastes no time. Heads for the top of the goal square and, in fact, misses everything. Did get get the distance. It is a behind. First score for the Port. They're one behind the Tigers, 2 straight. Marble bar scoreboard.
So it'll be Mitchell from fullback, Rock Harry with that behind. Certainly not on Ronnie Fuller's, not on his Christmas list, mate. Guarantee you that. Pinozzo's got it in the back pocket for the Bays, right in front of the marble bar score, but he rebounds from 50. The kick is too much for Richard Douglas. It goes over his head there. It's taken by a Port player there in Matthew King, who kicks it inboard, and Marek takes the mark. The little deft pass inside 50 is good, and the mark by Harry is very good indeed at centre half forward. The attention by Mules was certainly very harsh, but nothing untoward. And Harry, I would have thought Smithy will go back and should have a pot shot at goal.
Oh, he's got to have a pot shot at goal. 50 metres out, directly in front with this breeze coming straight behind him, so he certainly wouldn't have any trouble with the distance. We saw him have a kick before, and it carried the distance. So Rock Harry now lining up, will kick from around about 55 metres out, directly in front. So Kim comes in now, gets very close to the man on the mark, and in doing so, kicks it into the man on the mark, so it just goes back and forward, and the Tigers are there in numbers again.
So Mitchell rebounding from defensive 50 for the Bays, and he finds Gibbs, who's right on the 50-metre line. Gee, the hand pass was poor by young Brycey Gibbs, but the second effort was pretty good. Lindsay Thomas gets involved, number 24 for the Magpies, goes to the big man Marek. It should actually be the other way around, but anyway, that's the way it panned out. Jeremy Clayton's marked inside 50 for the Maggies. He's certainly within range. The angle is about 45 degrees, and Clayton will kick from about, well, 20-odd metres to the north.
Yeah, southern end. Yeah, he's going to kick to the school end here, but good defensive work was undone there by the turnover for the Tigers. They did work it hard to get that ball back, but their turnover was very, very costly. Marriott in the middle stopped it, and it's ended up with Jeremy Clayton, as you heard Paul Blander say, 20 metres out, 45-degree angle. He has kicked it, and he has missed. So a bad miss to the Port Adelaide side. 2 points they are now on the marble bar scoreboard. They trail Glenelg 2 straight goals, and Grand Central tells us we played 6 minutes of this first quarter.
Well, the last time we were here, the kicking in by David Mitchell into the breeze was an absolute PDK highlight. Let's see if he's got his, his robo leg on today, because it was most of his kicks from the goal scorer landing about 55 out into a gale. And this time he's just taking his time. Of course, last time we had Clark to aim for. This time another huge
That's incredible.
That's lobbed 60 out right in the lap of Backwell, who gets it onto Willits. So it's sometimes your best form of defence is attack, and with Mitchell kicking in, that's certainly the case for the Tigers. As Willits kick looking for Kirkby, takes a bad bounce. Bullen manages to pick it up. Here comes the turnover as it comes now to Chad Davis. Davis with the kick. It hits the Port player there on the half volley. Tigers are there in number. It's a bit of a scramble there by the boundary line. It goes over. So it's a throw-in. It's 60 metres out from the Magpies' goal. They are 2 behind. The Tigers are 2 goals.
Okay, so the ball up just outside 50 for the Maggies. They're going to the school end marble bar scoreboard, 12-2 in favour of the Bays at the moment. The tap down favoured Backwell. He handballed off to Douglas. Douglas with the left hand handball backwards to McConnell, number 33, and he's got run from Mitchell, who now has a bounce and rebounds from defensive 50. Has a second bounce. He's approaching centre wing grandstand side with a third bounce. Good support there by John Hinge. Intelligent football, protecting the ball carrier. The mark couldn't be taken by the leading Glenelg forward there, and it's taken away by Port Adelaide. The kick finds Lindsay Thomas. He's been heavily involved at the moment, and the kick came from Tommy Carr. So Lindsay Thomas, centre wing grandstand side, goes inside 50. Good attention, Pinozzo on the Port Adelaide player there, but it spills to Clayton. He's on 50. He kicks it and wobbles it inside. Mules takes it though and handballs to McConnell. This bloke always seems to be on his own. He now dodges this way. The handball to Backwell wasn't great, but they had enough time. The handball from Backwell was even worse because Luke Slattery was there. Henry Slattery, goodness me. Gibbs runs onto it, centre wing out of sight. He traps it, but he didn't trap it inside the line, so it'll be a ball up directly in front of the RPH commentary crew on the outer side centre wing.
That's right. Slattery was that close to Backwell. He could have signed the back of the Guernsey, so not sure about that hand pass. Anyway, umpire throws, you can see the wind take it towards the Port Adelaide goal somewhat. There's a scramble there for it. Still trying to come loose. Now the Tigers have got it. There's that man again, Backwell, getting another possession. He's got Kirkby on the lead, and he marks close to the boundary out of side, about 70 out. Kirkby centres it, looking for the hot spot. Rogers flying, was pushed out. Yep. Umpire says, even I saw that one. And Rogers into the wind will kick, Darryl, from maybe 45.
Yeah, very undisciplined play there by Corey Archie. He just nudged him fair in the middle of the back. The umpire was in perfect position to see that free kick. Now Rogers will go back, and gee whiz, what a start by the Tigers, kicking into a howling gale here, probably worth 5 or 6, and they could post their 3rd goal into the breeze. So, and it comes, we've got a change coming up in just a moment. The kick is on its way. It hasn't made the distance. It certainly has. And the Tigers have got another one on the board. And the player there was Aaron Rodgers kicking that goal. He's got his first. The Tigers have got their third. So they go to 3 straight on the Marble Bar scoreboard. And Port Adelaide only 2 points. And Grand Central tells us we played 13 minutes of this first quarter.
And the Tigers, well, they are taking off they're continuing where they left off. 12 goals to zip last quarter against the Bloods. 3 goals to zip into the Breeze. And that interchange, thanks to Stilwell Ford, is Yeoman's on and Allen coming off for a rest.
Yes, he was. He was indeed, Phil. So there's the ball up. It will be in the centre. It'll be Marek going against Cranston. So no real clear winner there, but Butcher was the recipient of the loose ball, and he went to Holton with the hand pass. Hinge from behind on the attacking side of centre wing for Port Adelaide with the spoil. He's now got some attention with Yeomans getting in there and supporting him. The hand pass to himself, actually. Young Bradley Yeomans, number 44, now runs himself into trouble, but John Hinge was helping him back up, and he does that well, and that kicks out of bounds on the full, the defensive side of centre wing, and it will favour the Magpies, who are kicking with a howling breeze at the moment. Marble Bar scoreboard, 16 points the margin for the Bays, and we've gone about 15 minutes. So Coach Micken will be happy. Coach Ginniver probably not as happy. Locken's got it now. He runs around Doldig. So Locken, number 17, he handballs off to Johnny Baird. I think that is back there. No, it's Butcher, I beg your pardon. He handballs to Elston. He sort of got wrapped up in a bear hug and then turned around, ran the other way. Did that well. He kicks it inside 50, but Johnny Hinge, number 19, that's a famous number. He does that well and rebounds. He handballs to Yeomans. Yeomans goes back to McConnell. McConnell with the kick.
Great kick.
It was a great kick, but it was taken out of bounds.
It was out of bounds on the full. Looked like it was a spot-on kick, but just drifted over the line.
That's 2.
So the teammates Marek and Douglas involved in that particular arrangement. Marek got the free kick, and he kicks to Locken. He's got the left knee bandage on. The socks are down, number 17. He's on the defensive side of centre wing for the Magpies. They need to get it in very quickly and kick some goals with this breeze. Kick it inside 50 now. It's taken by Slattery. He wheels around on the left boot. That's looking better from Port Adelaide. Gee, it's going to be a miracle goal if it went through for a goal, but it didn't. It went through for a point. So a miracle point. 15 points the margin. Marble Bar scoreboard. 16 and a half minutes gone. They're not making the most of their opportunities, Smithy.
No, they certainly aren't. And that one was just an off break instead of a leg break, and went through for a minor score. Mitchell brings the ball back in grandstand side and finds Backwell.
As he did the play before, Backwell covering a huge amount of territory to mark this by the Brandon. He's looking for Kirkby, who's leading strongly. And you think that might be a bit of a mismatch, Baird against Kirkby, but Kirkby is providing a target and taking Baird a long way up the ground. But give the boy a rap and he stuffs it up, because that's a Smithfield crash clanger. The kick lobbing down the throat of Tommy Carr. So Carr looking half-forward flank. Hinge and Slattery missed the ball completely. Umpire judged that Hinge has infringed against Slattery with a bit of a push from behind. And so they'll fetch the footy, and Slattery will have it about 60 out from the Magpies goal. The Pies still goalless thanks to Grand Central. I reckon we've played about 15 minutes. And Slattery goes right across, and there is not a Tiger there to be seen. Jenner manages to find some speed, run onto it, brings it back to Harry, who's about to get tackled. And unfortunately, the position of it, he was tackled from the back, and that was a push in the back. So Harry now plays on. Gibbs tackles him, holding the ball. Errors galore. It's a Smithfield crash clanger fest here at the Glenelg Oval. Help us out, Paul.
Yeah, well, that was poor footy really by Port Adelaide, and good attention being paid by Bryce Gibbs. So he goes wide to centre wing out of side. Panozzo has taken it there on the bounce. He now turns around and kicks it forward, looking for Kirkby. That's 3 in a row from the Bays on that side of the ground. Well, that's kicked it out of bounds on the full again.
The breeze is going across the ground, isn't it? Strong and blowing towards the eastern side.
They should be using the members' side, because it makes it easier for us to see. But anyway, it was Baird was involved, went backwards to Carr, found Polton. He kicks into the centre and finds Locken. Now, he's going to want to use the left boot, no question about that. He does that now, and he's got a play there in Chad Davis. Oh, he takes a good mark.
Oh, that's good.
Good mark indeed. PDK highlight. He handballed off to a teammate in Jenner. Jenner goes inside 50 and finds Slattery. Slattery can play on and have a shot at goal here. He's in the pocket, and he does. Adjust that and kicks a goal for Port. Good football indeed. 3 straight 18 the Bays. Port 1-3-9. We've gone about 18 minutes of the first quarter thanks to Grand Central. That's better football from the Magpies.
Yeah, it was better football from the Magpies. It was more direct, wasn't it? We saw Locken get the ball in long and strong, and then we saw Slattery on the end of that. He turned around and knew exactly what he had to do, and that was run full face of goal. He did that, turned around and kicked truly for his first, and Port Adelaide have got their first on the board. 1-3-9. They trail by 9 points, Port Adelaide, over Glenelg, who are 3 straight goals, 18, and they are kicking into the pretty strong breeze. So a good start by the Tigers, but a better improvement improvement there shown by the Magpies.
Yeah, it might have been the player that had Chad Davis took a strong mark with 2 Tigers, freed up Jenner, and then the Magpies were away with the loose man. And once again, a ruck infringement, and Magpies have got a bit of an advantage here, of course, with Marek in. Mickeljohn, they've got the luxury of having him as a target up forward. As that kick from Marek again gives someone a rap and they stuff it up. Here comes to Mules, who marks inside defensive 50 for the Tigers. So Mules, the captain of the Bays this year, gets back well. That would be possession number 8, 9 or 10. He gives it straight to Davis. He's having in a bit of a purple patch. Davis has some open field to go long from about 60. His kick is awry. So
yeah, that kick from backward was a Smithfield crash clanger, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And Davis, unfortunately, not much better. As quickly Mitchell this time doesn't find Backwell. He could have marked it, but Douglas does that now. Comes back inboard to Sherwood. Tigers would be good to stay away from that outer boundary line because they've got Ben Moore all by himself as Thomas comes in fast pursuit. And Ben Moore takes the mark. He's just the base side of the centre circle as there's players running downfield in numbers. I need a traffic cop inside the Tigers forward 50 at the moment because it's just going everywhere. And this time with a short kick finding a Brad Yeomans and yeah, 15 and a couple of millimetres. Yeah, anyway. We tend to find if it's judgment, they'll give it the mark. I suppose if that's consistent, that's fair enough. But anyway, comes to the bottom of the pack there.
Oh,
Davis
great tackle.
Some great work. Can't escape his tackle. Comes loose. Comes to Gibbs. And Gibbs, has he nailed the goal? They're celebrating. And it is a goal. As the goal umpire fakes it out by signalling it between the goal and behind post. Never mind, maybe that's what they used to do in the 70s. The Tigers have got their 4th, the first to Gibbs. Marble bar scoreboard. The Tigers, 24. That's 4 goals without a miss. The Maggies, 1-4-10.
It was great play there by Matthew Graham, who put the tackle on and held up the ball, and then the ball spilt out on the tackle, picked it up and gave it to Gibbs with a very, very quick reflex handball, and a great play by Matthew Graham there. The tackle was a PDK highlight.
There's the ball up in the centre, so Port Adelaide losing the core at the moment, and they've got the breeze. Davis was wrapped up in the tackle. Yeomans, who's certainly been busy and getting involved, gets the kick out of the centre. It bounces just near the half-forward flank. Eilert with the dreadlocks goes to Thomas with the afro. Goodness me, it's hairdos galore. He goes back to Eilert. The pressure from Ruwald is very good indeed. The smother is outstanding by Ruwald, and that pressure is really going to bother Port. Ruwald applying the smother. Darryl Smith was very good indeed.
Yeah, PDK highlight. You say it's going to bother Port, but also what it does, it lifts the Glenelg players. We saw 4 or 5 Glenelg players run to young Ruwald there, pat him on the back, and it's just team lifting stuff. The 1% as they keep doing that, they'll continue to win this game.
So some action grandstand side. That's good to see as it comes to more. Glenelg is certainly winning the clearances. You'd think with Marek and Ruck that'd favour the Magpies, but it's not happening. It's a centre half forward. Davis has got it. He's tackled again. Actually, this time that was Fitzgerald tackled. It comes to Gibbs. He's hand pass onto a teammate. The kick inside forward 50 for full forward. The Bay player in front couldn't take the mark. That was McConnell. It's a loose ball. 20 up from the Tigers goal. Another fantastic smother from the Tigers. McConnell wants it. He dives. He steps over. His head and misses. Well, that was almost a PDK highlight of the year, but the 1%ers from the Tigers very impressive and should have deserved probably a 5th goal.
Should have too. Stillwell forward change. Cranston off and Smith on for the Tigers.
Gee, forward line pressure from the Tigers has been outstanding in that last minute and a half of play. So there's the kick out from Eilert. It's going to be marked by Moore, and no, it wasn't. But he hit the ground running. He got pushed in the back by his opposite number 24, Thomas. The umpire was looking straight at it, said nothing doing. Thomas ends up getting it back, and he goes inside 50 with the screw punt. Gee, the contest between Clayton and Mitchell was good. Oh, the hand pass has come out to Slattery. He's thrown it on to Jeremy Clayton, who ends up kicking a point. It doesn't count. So the umpire didn't get the free kick to Moore, but certainly got that one in the forward 50.
The pressure here by the Tigers players will be worrying the Magpies because their second and third efforts have been outstanding in this first quarter.
They are. So Hinge with the free kick went by hand to Mitchell.
Kick.
The kick is outstanding to Gibbs, who marks in the centre circle for the Bays, or ends up running to the centre circle after taking the mark. Kicks it inside 50, but the mark taken by Cameron Island at half-back for the Maggies.
So Eilert now brings it down grandstand side. Jeremy Clayton, Ben Moore do battle. Ben Moore gets in front position, thumps it away. So you'd have to say most of the one-on-one battles, the Tigers just want it more at the moment. And the Magpies not using full use of the breezes. Thanks to Stillwell forward, we've got interchange. Allen on, Yeomans off for arrest. So the throw-in right in front of us here at Tigerland as Gibbs again gets the... Well, he got the tap on the bounce. It goes to Backwell now to Allen, who's just on the field. Allen with a short chip kick. It goes over. He's a 10 recipient. Tigers there to back up. Hand pass comes back to Wirrod. He's 55 out. It's a 2-on-2 contest right at the hot spot. It comes to ground right in the lap of McConnell. This time he shoots, and this time he goes. McConnell has his first. The Tigers have their 5th, and they are running away with this one.
They certainly are running away with this one. Great play again by McConnell. There was a 2-on-2 competition. 2 players went up. He stayed down. The ball came out the back, and he was the first one to recover, and he ran onto that quickly, and a goal. A magnificent start by the Tigers into this breeze. 5 goals, 1 they are at the moment, and Port Adelaide 1 goal 4 on the marble bar scoreboard. So a 21-point margin in this first quarter to the Tigers already, and the Grand Central tells us we've played 20 minutes of this first quarter.
Yeah, so 5-1-31, 1-4-10 kicking against the Breeze the Bays. They're applying finals-like type pressure, and that's bothering Port Adelaide. Gibbs has certainly been involved. He's wrapped up in the tackle now, manages to get a handball away. What can Backwell do? He's involved, but Sid Smith with the support, and then now Allen. He'll go for the hand pass and end up giving it to Smith, who can run to 50. What's he going to do? Is he going to have a shot at goal? He is. Douglas is involved. He gets the ball on the bounce. This bloke will do some magic. He doesn't on that occasion. He ends up kicking it, and the player there, Dane Fitzgerald, takes the ball, and it is going to be a free kick. Is it to Richard Douglas, I believe?
No, throw in on that outer side, right in front of the outhouse there.
A throw in, okay, so got a bit carried away there. So a ball up in the forward pocket there. Douglas involved. There's the boundary line throw now. Well, Micklejohn got Smith in a bear hug. The umpire calls play on now. Ends up back with Tommy Carr. He rebounds from 50 with the kick for Port Adelaide. It'll go to centre wing, and it'll be John Hinge taking a very good mark in front of Slattery. He plays on immediately, ends up kicking it to Elston because the pressure from the player there in Butcher was very good. It now comes to centre wing defensive side for Port Adelaide, and Lockin took the mark, gave to Butcher. The chase by Glenelg again was very good. Sherwood comes back to Jeremy Clayton. He now handballs back to Butcher. He can run to 50 and unload. He decides not to do the selfish thing and kick it inside 50. Polton's involved. Benny Moore's involved. Polton now will pick it up in front of his opponents, but the pressure again from the Tigers. They're hunting in packs. McConnell ends up getting it. He rebounds from 50 with a kick.
Here they go.
And here it is. B.O. man back ball. He must have B.O. No one wants to go near him. He kicks, and Smith takes it centre wing, grandstand side. He's shoring up his options, Jeff Smith. The kick wasn't very good inside 50. Eilert takes it on the bounce, will rebound from 50 for the Maggies and find Rock Harry. He can't take the mark. The pressure from Mitchell's good. He was running so fast he fell over. Mitchell's now got support in Jeff Smith. The handball to Kirkby is very good though. What can Rory Kirkby do? He can get his head ripped off. The umpire's looking straight at it and says no. It'll be a ball up.
And he's signalling that he ducked his head, but gee whiz, if you duck your head, you still get hit high. Isn't that a free kick? It's like accidentally falling over or accidentally tripping someone. For heaven's sake, he got his head ripped off. Should have been free kick. So there you go. Backwell got one.
Backwell, well, he ducked the head because it was at ground level. He quickly gets the hand pass on. Gibbs is at 49. He fires over the colour player's head. And the Tigers into the breeze of kick 6. Gibbs has kick 2. Marble bar scoreboard. Glenelg 6-1-37, blowing the Magpies apart. 1-4-10.
No, they certainly are. And a Stillwell forward interchange. Rock Harry off, and coming on for the Magpies is
Steve Summerton.
Steve Summerton in his first run. So Steve Summerton coming on for Rock Harry. And the Tigers, 6 goals in this quarter into the breeze. You'd think they were kicking it with the breeze, but it is the opposite. They are kicking into a 5-goal breeze here and have played some absolutely sensational football.
Yeah, Grand Central shows 24 minutes gone, and it has been the Tigers' quarter for sure. And certainly as they get the centre clearance, there's that man Gibbs again. He goes looking for Dolding on the lead, who marks 45 out. Dolding doesn't waste any time. He's found McConnell, and probably not much a saving in distance, just improves the accuracy a little bit. And this will be a big test, Darryl.
It will be, but very lazy play there by the Magpies. Their midfield players all hung back in the centre. McConnell drifted down into that forward 50, and he's now got a shot on goal. So he's gone in short, and he has found his teammate, and that player there is a Matthew Graham. So the youngster, he's got an opportunity now, a little bit closer to goal, probably will kick from around about 45 metres out. Still into this strong breeze though, so
well, that's amazing. We've seen 2 forwards mark inside 50 and pass it off and gain about a metre each.
Well, he did right. But Graham, saw him play his first game a couple of weeks ago, and he was outstanding, and he's been very busy in this game as well. Has already kicked the goal. Gave one off to McConnell as well with a handball. So now he's just returning the favour is McConnell. So he comes in now from 45 metres out. The kick is on its way. And has it got the accuracy? No, it hasn't. Just faded away to the far side for a minor score. So Glenelg 6 goals to 38. Still lead Port Adelaide 1-4-10 on the marble bar scoreboard.
So 25 minutes into the first quarter, thanks to Grand Central. And you would have thought the Bays are kicking with the wind. In fact, they're kicking straight into it, and they've got 6-2 on the board. There's the kick out going straight down the centre by Eilert. Archie was being held. Advantage advantage played. Polton on the left boot kicks it towards centre half forward, but Sherwood, the Forest, just smashes it down. Butcher got a half a palm to it. Now he's wrapped up in the tackle, though. He gets sort of like a Gaelic little kick onto the long sleeve. Polton, he's going to pick it up now. Smith's going to get it right on. He takes him across the line. Gee, goodness me, I don't know if that might have been too high. It's a long way away, but Smith...
He's complaining about it, Polton, I tell you. He's giving the umpire what for.
Smith ran straight into him. It may have been a tad high, but no one seems to be arguing too much at the moment. So there's the boundary line throw-in right in front of the marble bar scoreboard, just outside 50. Port player tapped it on, ends up with Loken. They're going backwards, and now they're going forward, and Slattery will take the mark, number 47. He takes the mark and plays on immediately, kicks it deep inside forward 50. This is a big contest here, but Sherwood getting some great support from Willett, but it spills to Slattery. But the kick is off target. Points is not what Port Adelaide need. 1-5-11. The Bays are 6-2-38 on the marble bar scoreboard. Grand Central says we've gone about 26.5 minutes of the first term.
What they need to hear now, the Glenelg, is to get it outside that 50, get it out of the danger zone so Port Adelaide can't get another goal. And
this time Panozzo decides to get in. That's not a bad kick. He's looking for Douglas. It won't sit for him. Slattery taps it forward, but only as far as the boundary line. So not sure why Mitchell didn't kick that one in. He can't quite spot him at the second. Maybe they've moved him up forward. Anyway, umpire will throw it in. Half-forward flank of the Magpies. They've got some work to do. 27 points down with the breeze in the opening quarter. Sherwood trying to come in the ruck contest. There's a poor play there, I thought, took it out. But it comes now. In fact, umpire's found a free kick. And
going to Backwell.
And either it was an infringement or for that Port player taking it out of the ruck contest. Backwell's got it. It's Tigers football. He's on the outer side. And he's taking his time. So... And that is the siren. Fantastic quarter if you are a Tigers fan, because Glenelg led on the marble bar scoreboard 6-2-38. The Pies 1-5-11.
They certainly do. They lead by 27 points to the Tigers after the first quarter. The Glenelg Football Club have to make Sundays their day. They have to go out there and go on a limb and say, right, we want to play all our home games on Sundays when there's no game on for the Crows. And
especially if the Crows and Power are on a Saturday.
Well, and they've got time to do that. They've got time when the AFL draw comes out in early October. They can sit down and plan it and go from there. So they've certainly got to do that.
So the second quarter is just about underway. Marek and Cranston will go at it. No clear winner there. If anything, it was probably slightly advantaged Cranston. Marek threw it, and that's another throw to Port Adelaide. Marek knew straight away, so did the umpire. So Cranston, or will it be Panozzo getting the free kick?
Looks like Panozzo, isn't it?
Yeah, how many of the centre clearances have been done by free kick?
Well, Davis was half standing on the mark, but not really good enough anyway. Went backwards, Panozzo to Gibbs. Gibbs ends up finding Willets. Good support by Sherwood. They're to grandstand side centre wing, the Bays. The kick goes in, and the smash away from the Port Adelaide King, away from Backwell. So the Bays are heading towards the half-forward flank.
Something we see back in the 70s too, where lost kids are walked around inside the ground. We see the lady there who's got a lost little child, half-forward flank on the grandstand side.
She looks like Sandra D, that lady. So there's the boundary line throwing. The tap down was very good by the player there in Cranston. Backwell somehow ended up getting ripped into the dirt, and anyway got the hand pass to McConnell, who runs inside 50, and the kick wasn't good and misses to the far side. The Bays 6-3-39. Porter 1-5-11. We're in the first minute and a half of the second quarter, thanks to Grand Central.
And what the good to see, I think that little boy's found his dad, which is a good thing to see. So what the players have got to realise, going with the breeze, it is going across the ground from the centre. It's pretty much going towards the scoreboard, and we've already seen 5 times today behinds scored it to the left of the goals. As the Magpies bring it back in, Polton's found some space. He's marked about 55 out from the Tigers goal. Got a runner for him on the far side. That might be Thomas.
Butcher.
Butcher it is. Trying to get into the game against his old team, the Tigers. Hinge breaks up the pack at centre half forward. Here's Thomas now. He picks it up, kicks it towards full forward. One-on-one contest. Strong mark to the Tigers.
Yeah,
and that's Panozzo there who's taken that one. He's got a teammate there who takes the mark.
Willets.
And he looks like he's grown some sideburns for the occasion as he comes back for Hinge. Hinge now. So the Tigers have got it still the back pocket. Grandstand side coming back inboard. That's over the head of Woodward. Chance of a turnover. Isla tries to run over. Gibbs just gets it. Finds some time to break away from 2 Magpies. It's a 1-2 hand pass to Allen. Now it comes across to Cranston. So the Tiger players somehow are making fantastic space for themselves. As the kick comes towards centre half forward, Rogers flies, but Archie does well. They appear to play Paul wherever they put Archie. They've got him in defence this afternoon. A quick hand pass to Elstone, looking for Islet. 2-on-1 contest favouring the Tigers as Ruwad holds up Islet. Islet doesn't want to get rid of it because he'll only go to Backwell. It's holding the ball. It comes to Backwell anyway, and Douglas has marked inside forward 50.
Yeah, good play there. 2-on-1 competition and a great effort there by Backwell. He knew the tackle was going to go up against the Port Adelaide side and player in Islet. Stood firm, picked up the ball. The umpire paid the free kick, but he was off, and he is kicked to Richard Douglas in the half-forward flank. Grandstand side kicking to the school end, so the Breeze are virtually coming right behind him here. And he's coming in now 45 metres out. The kick's on its way, and he's kicked it absolutely magnificently. So that is another goal to the Tigers. That's his first. The Tigers have now got their 7th. They go to 7 goals, 3, 45. Absolutely smashing the Magpies at the moment. 1 goal, 5, 11 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Grand Central tells us we've played 3 minutes of this second quarter.
And one thing about Richard Douglas, he is class with a capital C, and his return 3 weeks ago against the Panthers was simultaneous with Glenelg's sudden improvement in form.
There's Poncho Gonzalez down there.
It is, indeed. Well, another goal to Glenelg here, and it's going to be very interesting for Port Adelaide to try and get back into this game. So there's the ball up back in the centre, Marek and Cranston. They've just been really, really good with the pressure today, Glenelg, not just in defence, not just in the midfield, but also in the forward 50, which is going to be important. So 34 points the margin on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Marek smashes it away from the resultant secondary ball up. Polton's wrapped up in the tackle, so the ball spills free again. Oh, Backwell, he's ripped off Clayton's head just about. Centre wing grandstand side, spills to King. He plays on to advantage, goes inside 50, and the mark should be taken, and he's by Jenner. He's about 35 metres out, directly in front for the Maggies. They need a goal now.
I'll tell you what, Micklejohn nearly upset his own play. It looked like he was actually going to try to stop him from marking, but nevertheless, Jenner has taken the mark. He is 35 metres out, directly in front. So
he's the Magpies' sole goal scorer.
Okay, so in he comes now, and the kicker kicks it low, and he does exactly what the player from Port Adelaide Power did last week, tried to guide it instead of kicking through the ball. So a point has resulted. So 1 goal 6 to 7 goals 3 on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Yeah, comments from the Unley Premiership coach Daryl Smith, and is there application going to Unley? We'll ask you at half time now. As it comes to Mules now to Backwell. Backwell has time to whiz around. He's always got time. On this occasion, though, his kick didn't beat the opponent who smothered it. That was well done there to Kyle Jenner, who's one of the Magpies' best at the moment. So thrown in front of the Port dugout and the old grandstand here at the Bay. 33 points the margin on the Marble Bar scoreboard as the throw-in comes around. And tapped down by Marek, and Clayton gets the tap on, and Gibbs manages to recover.
Oh, clever football.
Visionary handball to Hinge. He's got more in the middle, but doesn't see him. Instead, he goes down along the wing. It goes over the back of the pack. Baird sees it out. A throw-in in front of the new grandstand half-forward flank of the Tigers.
Yeah, Moore was actually all on his own, wasn't he? So a little bit peripheral vision there by Gibbs was needed, and he would have seen more, but didn't do that.
He's been on fire today, Bryce Gibbs. Couple of first-quarter goals, and he's got a lot of possessions so far. There's the boundary line thrown right at half forward for the Bays. Marek had his hand over the shoulder of the Cranston player, but the kick ends up from Port Adelaide going out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, that was Clayton.
Clayton, so Jeremy Clayton, he's opposite number 2 with the long sleeves. Also is Brett Backwell, and he kicks it straight to Cameron Islet, who lost it in the sun for a minute. There were 2 Bay players, and Backwell missed both of them and found Islet. Clayton.
Free kick tripping.
Okay, an accidental trip there to Islet. Certainly wasn't intentional, but did get tripped, so he's got it a half-back for Port Adelaide. He comes to grandstand side, centre wing with the kick. Jenner is involved there, but running onto it beautifully was Slattery, but he's going to be taken out of bounds by Mules. And good to see they actually held each other from stopping running into that shed down there, which was nice to see. Slattery and Mules.
Corrugated iron shed.
Yes, the old iron shed. It's got some nice blue padding on it as well. There's the boundary line up. It's dead set centre wing it is. Marek also getting held there by Cranston. One would have thought. The umpire said nothing doing. Backwell's wrapped up in the tackle. So the pressure just seems to have increased a little bit by Port Adelaide. They just need to get a couple of goals in succession. 1-6 they are. 7-3 the Bays. Marble Bar scoreboard. There's Backwell. He's pressure from King. Yep, the free kick was there. He's paid for over the shoulder, and Backwell certainly again getting plenty of football, so he's going to play on now, and he handballs to Panozzo. Good run from defence. There's no one inside the Bays forward 50, defensive 50 at all. There's plenty of players inside the forward 50, and one of those is Johnny Baird, and marks right in between full forward and centre half back for the Maggies, and they're going to rebound from defence.
Yeah, Baird leads the SANFL in marks this season. Has been the rock of their defence for most of this season, and is now taking the time to direct some traffic, and instead then goes straight across the ground. He's got a teammate out there in the pocket in front of the Marble Bar scoreboard. It shows the Maggies trailing by 33 early in the third quarter. In fact, 7 minutes gone thanks to Grand Central. And Port, for some reason, want to slow it up. They're the ones that are trailing at the moment. I think that was Carr with the long kick. And that's a pretty good mark out there to the Magpies. That, I think, is...
Is it Archie?
Archie.
Archie. Anyway, we'll give it to Archie for the moment. He's marked it. Halfback flank, and no real... well, enthusiasm to get on with it. He's just going to kick long. So we are seeing the real 70s footballer just kick it long and see what happens. And it lobs right down the throat of Slattery. Slattery now gets the handball inboard to Elstone, who has to stop and prop. Now he sends the Magpies forward. It holds up in the breeze. The pack comes from everywhere. Comes down to Thomas, who a grubber kick towards the hot spot. Beautiful tap on. It finds the Port player who shoots for goal and misses. And that player was Butcher. And he's missed. So the Magpies are getting some scoring shots, but that's 1-7 for the afternoon. The Tigers 7-3 on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Well, he butchered it. Mitchell kicks it out from fullback. The kick is good, but it's going to be marked by Clayton outside forward 50. He kicks it inboard. The kick wasn't good to Jenner, and there's a player involved. Allen for Glenelg did it tough and did it well. Goes to Panozzo by hand, who goes by hand also to Mitchell. They'll rebound from 50 here with the kick of Mitchell's and finds the class machine, and that's Richard Douglas. He marks at halfback left for the Bays. He goes to centre wing grandstand side with the kick, looking for Ruwalt. We're going to run straight onto it. Is the player there? And that is Daniel Ulster, number 14 for the Maggies, with the socks down and the Puma boots on. So what's he going to do? Survey options, kick the ball forward now, obviously looking for half forward. It's going to be intercepted by Douglas. A clean bowled him like a bowling alley. Ends up with Mills. Mills go backward to Willits. Willits will go backwards further to Panozzo. They're not panicking the Bays. They're just trying to calculate what they can do.
They played that very well there. Very good football.
So Mills ended up giving it to Allen, who's been impressive today. Gee, the kick to Dolding is a beauty, and he marks just outside of the half forward flank in the southeastern side of the ground. Dolding turns around, goes back with the kick. It's a beauty. And McConnell, what can he do? Well, he doesn't need to do anything, because Dolding's kicked a 60-metre goal with a drop punt. The Bays are 8-3, 51. Port are 1-7-13. Grand Central says we've gone 6 minutes of quarter two.
Yeah, great teamwork by the Tigers there. They left the actual goal square vacant, and they all let out, and Dolding saw the opportunity to go long, and it was good play by the Tiger player there in Rogers to get out of that area so that Dolding could have the opportunity to go long and kick truly, and that's exactly what he did. McConnell was running onto it. If it was going to drop short, he was going to mark it anyway, so there was a two-prong option there for the Tigers, and all of a sudden they are careering away this game. 8 goals, 351, leading Port 1-7-13.
38 points the margin. The Tigers have another 20 minutes with the Breezes. That kick high, and it will Lux a fortune. In fact, that should be 25 because that wasn't in the contest. Umpire says it was just accidental. Kirkby now with the kick. It's a bit of a grubber, but he's got a teammate there who's open, and that's Gibbs, who shows some class and poise, and he'll line up and shoot from about 58. Well, love near the goal line, and Marek stands tall and marks on that goal line. Now he tries to weave away. He's a better marker than he is a runner, let me tell you, because there's a turnover in the goal square. Marek has to go back and get it. Now he'll have no, he doesn't. It's intercepted, and the Tigers have scored.
Dolding it was.
Dolding. He's kicked one from 60. He's kicked one from 6 inches.
It was great play there, wasn't it, by the Tigers? The defensive work again by the Tigers forwards have been outstanding. The cough up there from the Port Adelaide, Ruckman and so forth was absolutely ludicrous, trying to outrun people. But the Tigers' defensive work is fantastic. The player was trying to handball the ball through the goals, but he handballed it, and it went straight into Dolding's hands. He turned around and kicked from, well, Phil said 6 inches. It might have only been 6 millimetres from out, and he's kicked his second in a minute.
Yes, well done. Good forward line pressure, as Darryl said, and basically Port Adelaide have got to kick 8 goals to zip to actually hit the front here, so the margin is really blowing out. The Bays have got the wind as well, and they've got it for about another 15 minutes as well. So there's the ball up in the centre. Who's going to run onto it? Douglas does it. He gets a half a handball to Willis, but Butcher kept on running and did it beautifully. He picks it up now. Again, pressure from the Bays. He kicks it inside forward 50. Locken takes the mark. Did it go far enough? Well, the umpire says yes, it does. Locken wheels around now, just outside the half-forward flank. Kicked it inside forward 50. Jenner couldn't take the mark as the pressure from Panozzo was good. Picking it up is Davis. Goes by hand to Butcher. The Maggies have got one. An important one as well. 2-7-19. The Bays are 9-3-57 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Grand Central says we've gone about 9.5 minutes of the second term.
And we've got some, we'll get some scores for you for the other games going around too, courtesy of our good friends at Black and Whites. But good play there by Locken to square the ball up. Jenner couldn't take the mark, but rebounded when it came down, gave the ball to Butcher, and Butcher kicked truly for his first. Have we got some scores? Paul?
Fremantle were 8-10, Carlton were 5-6. That was about 10 minutes ago. Half-time.
Half-time. So.
And we should have the Port Cheer squad who've got their spirit in the 70s theme. They've brought the cut-up yellow pages, which they're strewing all over the back end of the Glenelg Oval.
They certainly
Only 2 goals scored, maybe that's lucky.
The council will be very happy about that.
Anyway, from the tap-in, it comes now. Well, the Magpies they're going backwards, trying to go forwards. There's the Thomas on the Fitzgerald. He's got a teammate there who takes the mark. Now it's a run. Now there's some open space coming up here for the Magpies. As the kick towards inside 50. Marich has been moved up forward after his defensive effort earlier. I'm not surprised. But it comes off hands and the Tigers kick. It's not great footy at the moment as it skedaddles Island. Backwell will run onto the ball. As you'd expect, it sits up beautifully for him. Now the kick comes in. It's marked there by Ruwalt, who skips around his opponent, looks to centre the ball. There's a Tigers everywhere. It comes to the bottom of the pack. Umpire's found it free. Is a Tigers free? Another shot on goal coming up.
Yeah, the player there was pushing the back, and that's Rory Kirby, and he's going to kick from around about 48 metres out directly in front, and Kirkby yet to kick a goal for the Tigers, but gee, they set this ball up well. They sent it square, and they had 2 players up, but Kirkby got the free kick from the back. Comes in the left foot, drop punt is on its way. It's not going to make the distance, I don't think. No, it's not. It's going to be touched on the line and go through for a minor score. So the 4th point on the board for the Tigers. They go to 9 goals, 4-58. Leading Port Adelaide 2 goals, 7-19 on the marble bar scoreboard.
38-point margin, as I think that's bad. Kicks it to himself. Now sets a long trajectory kick and more intercepts. Can't take the mark. It's off hands. It comes from Archie. He's got a runner, so the Magpies are going to get out of here. They're going to get to Slattery. He's on centre wing out of side. So what can he do with the ball? He slows it up as he watches player after player after player run past him. Now he heads up towards that cricket pitch corner. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it. But anyway, it comes loose. Here comes a handball across to Butcher. He's got a teammate on the boundary line who's tackled there. Hinge will come in hard. He tries to take on the defence. He won, but he left the ball behind.
Well,
now he picks
numbers.
It's like someone do a number count here, because the Tigers don't know they've got numbers. They're making space when they get the ball. Ruwalt had it. He's fumbled it. That would allow King to come in. He's under a bit of pressure. He's got now Fitzgerald, who wheels around Graham. Now Fitzgerald will send it towards the hot spot. It's 50 out, comes to ground. Backwell tries to tap it on. Moore can't get it. Backwell now does tap it onto a teammate, and here come the Tigers.
Oh, the Forest is in the centre of Glenelg Oval. He falls over, drops the ball, gets a push in the back as well. He had just about everything the football game could have, and now he's got the free kick as well. So
did he try to bounce it there in that centre?
I think he may have. He goes by hand to Douglas, who kicks it from the centre circle and kicks it inside 50, but the mark's taken by Micklejohn. Hasn't had a huge day out thus far. He goes by hand to Johnny Baird, rebounds from 50. The kick is only going to go to Moore, but just got over his head and was taken there by, looks like Slattery, I think it was, took the mark and plays on and finds Butcher, who gives Sherwood a bit of a slap in the face.
Several forward interchange too. Polton off and Rock Harry on.
So Butcher on centre wing out of side goes and finds Davis. He didn't take the mark, but he was good enough to end up getting it and wheel the ball back round inside 50. Running onto it now is a player there in Jenner, I think it was. And but Slattery, I beg your pardon, he goes backwards, and the player there for Port kicks it inside 50, and there is Kyle Jenner taking the mark, and he's about 45.5 metres out. The angle is acute. He's in the northeastern pocket of the Bay Oval.
He certainly is. Going to be a tough kick there because he's virtually kicking it right into the teeth of the breeze. But Jenner now, can he make some inroads onto this lead that the Tigers have got? He's going way back outside 50. So he's going to go full bore on the run. So in he comes now. Jenner kicks from a 48 metres. The kick is on its way. Certainly he's going to lob in the goal square. The Tigers do push the ball forward over today. Yes, for a no, it's umpire has called for a bounce as a pack descends, and it's on the last line of defence with the Magpies into attack.
Well, if the umpire's not careful, he's going to throw it up. Otherwise, it might have just bounced over the goal line. Tap forward, and actually tap forward by the Magpies.
Always amazes me why they don't have a player on that side.
Anyway, so it is a behind to the Pies. That is their 8th or 9th this afternoon. Just checking where the scoreboard's at. That's number 8. 2-8 for the afternoon. And Mitchell has his options. Now he sinks the slipper into the boot. That is going to lob in the centre square, almost in the centre circle, right on the lap of McConnell. Quick hand pass to Backwell on the mules, and as quick as that, the Tigers are threatening. One-on-one contest, top of the goal square. Doldig brings it to ground. Graham picks it up. Snaffles on. It's a goal. Coast to coast play, the Tigers. And this is one of the best half of footballs you've seen Glenelg play all season, if not for many seasons. 10-4-64, the Magpies 2-8-20. That is a 44-point margin.
Yeah, Graham's second goal too. It came in from the kick from Mitchell. Found McConnell in the virtually centre of the square. Not a soul around him. He got it on the back wheel, and then all of a sudden it ended up at the contest at the forward square. It went to ground, and Graham was able to pick the ball up on the half volley and kick truly, as you heard Phil Hurden say, it went from coast to coast without a Magpie player touching the ball. Great play by the Tigers. All of a sudden they've got their 10th on the board. 10-4-64. They lead Port 2-8-20. 44 points in favour of the Tigers.
PDK team highlight to the bays. There's the ball up. It was Cranston getting first palm to it, and Backwell will pick it up. He almost had his jumper ripped off there in that exchange. Allen went to Matthew Graham, the last goal scorer. He kicks it now inside 50. It's going to bounce awkwardly for all players concerned, but King, it looked like, getting a hand pass, and Locken smashing it forward as well. Jeremy Clayton's involved here. Allen, oh, he's wrapped up by Clayton around the spine.
Too high.
And Jeremy Clayton's got a couple of aggro pills in him today, I think. Oh, well, Jeremy.
He's copped a couple high, and now he's returning the favour.
Yes, and getting caught doing it. So Allen getting some instructions there from Backwell. He's come back almost to centre wing grandstand side. So he runs now and kicks to the school end of the bays. Now we'll go inside 50. What's going to happen here? There's going to be a big... Oh, and a good mark taken by Bryce Gibbs. Everyone else didn't know what was going on. Bryce Gibbs read it beautifully and will kick from 40 metres out pretty well directly in front.
Yeah, PDK highlight that mark. A la Royce Hart style when he used to come in from the side in front of the packs. Absolutely magnificent mark there by Bryce Gibbs. A PDK highlight. He'll kick from 45 metres out, and it is already kicked 2. He's coming in now for his 3rd, and he's been a real standout player thus far for the Tigers. So here he comes now, 45 metres out. Just gradually jabs at the ball, kicks through it truly, and he has got his 3rd, and the Tigers have got their 11th all of a sudden. They are 11 goals for 70. They lead by 50 points over the Magpies, 2-8-20 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Grand Central tells us we played 20 minutes of this second quarter, and courtesy of Stillwell Ford, player coming on for the Tigers is Yeomans, and the player going off, I cannot...
Ty Allen.
Ty Allen, so number 14 coming off, so Allen off, and the Tigers are doing everything here they need to do to set up a huge lead. All of a sudden, it's out to 50 points.
Well, one of the Tigers' biggest highlights was the 49 goals they kicked here against Central, and 75. They're en route, well, not for the bigger same margin, but they're thumping the Magpies at the moment. And don't forget, the Magpies are higher than the Tigers on the table. As Summerton got himself a free kick in the centre ground, so he'll send it wide. And that finds a teammate out there. That might be Eilert. Eilert now sends it forward. He's going to lob on the hot spot. Archie's up there forward now to give him some sort of a spark. It comes to Thomas, who found some space and some time to whirl around looking for Marich. Bounces over his head. Willits can't pick it up. Behind for the Pies. And Willits decides he'll kick it in. If he does so now, waste no time, comes for Mitchell. Now, where will Mitchell kick this one? He's got a 15-metre head start on this one. He actually tries to kick it right to the RPH commentary booth, and he finds Sunquist right on the boundary line in front of the bench and the change room. Sunquist, no one on the mark, so he takes a couple of metres start. He kicks towards full forward. Doherty comes out the back of the pack. He crashes that, almost take the mark. That might have been Kirkby. Comes down to Yeomans. Yeomans onto Sunquist. Loose player there in Cranston. Cranston unloads from 50. Doherty sets himself right back. That's McConnell. Almost took out the behind post in the process. It'll be a throw-in right by that behind post, favouring the Tigers, who lead this one by 49 points.
So the kick from Cranston actually almost went too far then for McConnell.
Still before change, Luby on for the Magpies, going straight to full forward.
So there's the ball up right in the forward pocket for the Bays. Micklejohn and Cranston it was. It comes down to a Port Adelaide player, and that was Tommy Carr. Got the quick kick away. It doesn't rebound from 50. It's picked up by Doherty. He gets wrapped up in the tackle. It comes to Moore. He goes backwards further still to Backwell. He goes inside 50, and Benny Mills, the captain, takes a mark, and with the breeze, he's certainly within range. The kick will have to be from about 48 metres, pretty well directly in front.
They are absolutely smashing him at the moment, the Tigers. And we see an interchange player coming off for the Tigers, and we'll get that in just a moment, courtesy of Phil Hurden. And coming on for the Tigers, courtesy of Stillwell Ford, is Jeff Smith. So Cranston, the player, off, but Mules comes in now, kicks from 48 metres. Has he got the accuracy? He has. So the Tigers have all of a sudden got their 12 goals for 76. They lead the Magpies 2 goals, 9-21, and that is on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Grand Central says we've played 21 minutes of this second quarter. They kick 6 in the first quarter into the breeze, the Tigers. They've got 6 already, and we're still playing it. They've got another probably 5 minutes to go in this second quarter. And if you are a Tigers fan, you should be down here supporting your side today, because it is absolutely back to the 70s stuff football, the way they've been playing, and they are looking the goods at the moment.
They certainly are. And next week, Glenelg take on Nord at Cooper Stadium. That game is going to be a huge affair for both of these clubs. Port Adelaide have got some problems of their own, and they have the bye next weekend as well at the moment. Well, they're 10 goals down, 55 points. They've got to kick 10 goals straight to get in front of the rampaging Tigers.
They could even drop out the 5 next week.
Well, they could indeed. So 10 goals the margin. Basically here at Glenelg, thanks to the marble bar scoreboard, the hand pass ended up getting with Yeomans. He's been impressive when he's been on as Yeomans. The kick wasn't great, but ended up finding back well. And I wouldn't mind betting he'd be half a chance to kick it from here, Smith.
Well, he's got to kick from around about 53 metres, isn't he? With the breeze right at his back. And we know he loves kicking a goal, does Brett Backwell. So he's looking around to size up his options. He's got the tall fella in the goal square too. And that player there is... Blackwell comes in, kicks, and it's just faded away to this side and has gone through for a point. So all of a sudden the Tigers now 12-5, 77, leading the Magpies 2-9-21 on the marble bar scoreboard.
So Port Adelaide absolutely shell-shocked here at the moment. This game pretty much done and dusted. Now it might just be a case of percentages. It comes down. Well, Davis has it. He's tackled by 2 Tigers. The Tigers forwards are just not allowing it. And there's the turnover. Comes to Gibbs, 45. He's looking for goal number 4. Umpire doesn't have to move except to raise his head. And Bryce Gibbs is having a field day. Got plenty of Tiger teammates, Daryl Smith.
He certainly has. It's everybody for the Tigers who are doing their bit at the moment. And their second and third efforts there, the turnover again, very costly. But one thing, when Bryce Gibbs actually got that ball, he took one step and kicked it, and he knew as soon as he kicked the ball that it was going through, because he started to celebrate. So great effort by Bryce Gibbs. He's got 4. Doldie's got 2. You've got Matthew Graham with 2, and then a whole host with singles. But the Tigers are certainly coming to play today here at the Bay Oval.
Yeah, might have to start getting that record book out shortly, the way the Tigers are travelling. Haven't beaten the Magpies in their last 11 attempts. It comes down to Ruot. Here's another centre clearance. Ruot runs away, just brushes the tackle aside like it was a mosquito. Kicks it inside forward 50. Now the Magpies have some numbers. It comes to Fitzgerald. He's got Elstone. They're running it down the outer side. Comes to Thomas. Back to Fitzgerald. He's got to look now for someone to kick it to. There's the smother by Graham. He comes back to Fitzgerald. He actually gets the kick away. And in the middle of the field there is Summerton. So the Magpies, a rare chance here to go forward. His kick heads towards 50 out. Players descend. Here comes the hand pass out. Now it sets up a play. Has to sit for Harry. Harry from 50. The kick, it's an open goal square. Pinozo trying to run back. He does so. And in fact, he tries to tap it forward, and it does stay. And so luck's a fortune. It's all going with the Tigers at the moment. He's got a teammate on the outer side. And quick as that, the Tigers have got it the centre wing. It goes to Benny Moore. He has to wait for it to sit. He's got to step on his opponent. He sends it long towards the pocket, looking for Kirkby, who slides safe at first, but can't take the mark.
On the full?
Out of bounds on the full. So a rare mistake from the Tigers. Magpies footy.
Okay, so Johnny Baird's got it almost at half back, right in front of the marble bar scoreboard, and it's pretty ugly if you barrack for Port, because it's 62 points to margin in favour of the Bays, and we've gone just over 20 minutes in the second term. So it's now the ball went almost to centre wing, between centre wing and the half forward flank for the Tigers on the outer side. It'll be a ball up. And the Tigers are playing a good brand of football this afternoon. Rotations galore. You've got Rewalt now in the middle of the ground. Smith and Cranston have been exchanged in ruck and doing a good job, and Bryce Gibbs has been a superstar this afternoon. The punch down from the Port player there, but it ends up with Yeomans, who goes inside 50 with the kick, looking for Dolding. What can he do? The attention from Lachlan was good. They both look pretty similar, those two players. Lachlan wins out on this occasion, rebounds from 50 with a kick, and finds Ron Fuller's best friend, Rock Harry. Harry takes the kick and kicks to centre wing. Grandstand side, Davis takes the mark, plays on. He's been pretty quiet, Chad Davis. He kicks to centre half forward, looking for big Archu up there, and he takes a very good mark, does Corey. He turns around now. He's too far out to kick a goal, you would have thought, but he's going to find the player there in Summerton, who takes the mark inside 50. He's going to wheel round on the left boot. The kick's not going to make it, but it's going to be marked by Slattery, literally in the goal square.
It certainly was. It was a low kick, but Slattery got on the end of that and marked, and he's going to go back now from 10 metres out, virtually directly in front. He has already kicked a goal for the Magpies. And he's got a fair chance he's going to kick the second one as well. But in he comes now from 10 metres out, virtually directly in front. Kicks on its way, and the goal umpire has said, that's okay, you've got your second. The Magpies have got their third. They go to 3 goals, 9-27.
And it's snowing.
It is, though, but I was watching the goal umpire there. He actually ran. That's because obviously the ball went to the near goal post. 70s style, didn't run back to the centre of the goals. He actually did it between the goal post and the point post.
He did that earlier on, which freaked me out no end. So good to see the goal umpires. We saw one guy get the moustache out, and sure he had an afro under the hat. People are getting into the spirit of it. The Tigers have shown some great spirit. That is just the Magpies.
Look at the hill over here. The hill too, looking very crowded. So great to see that. And the Tiger fans have come out today, which is fantastic to see. So excellent. Well done to the people who are supporting the game.
And if they play like this, they'll be back. Because the Tigers, it's a great football to watch from a Glenelg perspective as the Magpies try and tap it forward. Only as far, though, as Mitchell. He couldn't quite get the full boot into that. It will just go about 50 metres. Locken sets himself to tap it forward. So Butcher a chance to run onto it. Baird needs to do a shepherd. And Butcher's got Fitzgerald running from. So again, the Magpies, they go down that outer side. Islet's got the ball now. He's at centre wing. He's got plenty of space. He can take a bounce. He probably should take a bounce. Umpire said that was all right. And of course, when you run, quite often the kick doesn't execute very well. And Yeomans has it at the half-back flank. So what can he do? He's got a runner for him in Ben Moore. 100 games today. Captain and now accredited firefighter as it comes into the middle there. And Willits with the ball. He goes for the long kick. In fact, three Tigers everywhere there at the moment. So now it might be Smith who kicks it up, looking for Dolding again. Locken's doing a pretty good job on Dolding, to be honest.
He's their best defender so far, Locken.
He is their best defender, and they're maybe a tad Dolding conscious just in the last 5 minutes. But it's a throw-in, Paul, right in front of that Marble Bar scoreboard.
It is, and back in the 70s used to be a pretty decent hamburger stand over there. There isn't at the moment. It's the Marble Bar scoreboard. There's the boundary line throw, and it's taken by King. He sort of just sidestepped everybody. Took a couple of skips towards his defensive goal. Kicks it now. This is dangerous. Dolding, can he take the mark? No, he can't. Sundquist, did he get a push in the back? No, said the umpire, and he'll ball it up about 40 metres out, you'd say. Well, between 35 and 40 metres out of the Bay goal. Marble Bar scoreboard 83-27 in favour of the Tigers. We've gone about 25 minutes thanks to Grand Central, and the umpire balls it up there. Smith gets a palm away. It ended up with Rock Harry. There were Magpies everywhere. He goes backwards, Rock Harry. Now hand passes to Locken. Goes further backwards to Harry. The kick by Harry is a Smithfield crash. Clanger. Backwell got it on his knees. Handballs back to Dolding. He handballs back over to Backwell. What's he going to do, Backwell? He wheels round now. Who's going to mark it? Oh, Smith almost took it. Tommy Carr was in the way, but Marek picked it up. Ruwelt's got it. Oh, Yeomans, what a goal! Oh, he's just stolen it and kicked it from the top of the goal square. They can do no wrong. Yeomans has his first, and the Bays just canter on.
They certainly do canter on. They are absolutely slaughtering the Magpies at the moment. The way they actually chase and run and force the Magpies into error has been an absolute highlight, as there's a double change there. We'll get that for you in just a minute. Cranston coming on, and also coming on is Ty Allen, and going off for the Tigers was
Kirkby and
Yeomans. So great start here for the first half of football. 14 goals, 589. That's the Tigers. They lead Port Adelaide 3-9-27 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Grand Central says we've played 28 minutes of this second quarter.
You can usually tell when a team's on song when their forwards play with desperation, when they don't have the ball. Plenty of turnovers in the Magpies' defence this afternoon, leading to Tiger goals. So this one is blown out. 62 points the margin, and it's not even half-time. Don't think at half-time, the air guitar competition. Great to commentate on that one as the Magpies kick forward comes to Benny Moore, who's marked defensive 50 for the Tigers. They're looking to swap the play. They've got some open players out here. That's Mitchell. Give him some free space. He'll kick it about 90 for you. He wheels around his opponent there in Luby. Gets the hand pass away to a teammate. Now the Tigers will bring it down centre wing. And there's that man again, Backwell. Touch number 20-something for sure and certain. As it comes in forward. No, they're just running. They're running in packs as the Sundquist gets it to Graham. Graham's kick looking for McConnell. McConnell slipped. Chance for the Tigers to rebound to Harry, to Locken, who has the luxury of a bounce. Now runs to the half-back flank. Sends it down the grandstand wing centre. Brian Willett sticks out the paw, and it does stick. He goes inboard, looking in there for Mitchell, who just spins around from his opponent. Too much space, too much time as half-time brings to an end this exhibition as Slattery and Backwell going head-to-toe on the centre wing. Umpire says nothing more to do with that. It is half-time here at Tigerland. The Bays 14-5-89, the Maggies 3-9-27 on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Yeah, 62 points in favour of the Tigers, and what a K Financial Advisors, the Grand Central, Black and White Trucks and Removals, Smithfield Crash and Mechanical Repairs, and the Stillwell Ford. We thank them for their support, and the Third quarter just about to get underway. The umpire holds the ball aloft, and you're on RPH with Paul Blandis.
So the Marble Bar scoreboard, 62 points the margin. The Bays are kicking into the breeze this quarter. There's the tap down, a play there in Allen that was wrapped up with a footy. Oh, and they've started a bit aggro, the Magpies, and that's because they're 11 goals down, basically. And Johnny Baird, Micklejohn's involved in there as well. Now, what's happening here? There's going to be another ball up, so a secondary ball up, if you like. It was Micklejohn. He got it down, but only as far as Backwell to Gibbs, to McConnell. Gee, just his evasive skills are superb. He goes to Cranston. It comes now back to McConnell. This is a great start by the Bays. Goes inside forward 50. The kick was too long for Rogers. Kirkby running onto it now, but it's gone out of bounds in the northeastern forward pocket for the Bays.
Often amazes me why they actually go deep into that pocket, because most of the time they go in there, it goes out of bounds. They're probably better off going to the top of the square, putting the pressure on, and then you've got more chances of scoring.
You'd have thought so. It's a busy men's toilet out there in the outer as well. There's the boundary line throw in. Micklejohn getting it, but Cranston just came, and then it came down to Glenelg. A kick from a Bay player has gone through for a goal. I can't pick up who that is, but he's got his hand up. It's Rewalt has kicked a miracle goal. PDK highlight indeed. You got the old check-sider from the northeastern pocket. Did it beautifully. He's got 2. The Bays have got 15, and Timmy Ginnivan, not the start he wanted.
No, exactly right. Not the start he wanted. Another goal into the breeze, and Rewalt got the ball off the back of the pack, came back, and he was actually looked like it was an outside check side punt, and it just went through, missed everybody, bounced through for his second goal. And the Tigers, the start they wanted into this breeze again, they've got their 15th. Port Adelaide stuck on 3-9.
Deja vu all over again. I think Rural kicked the opening goal of the game in the first quarter, in the opening minute. Now the Magpies have a chance from the clearance. It comes to Elstone. He goes towards full forward. That's where they've put Archie by the looks of it. It comes to ground. Running in hard there is Mills. His tackle gets the hand pass over Mitchell's head. Now it's a chase to the boundary line. It's tapped forward by Mitchell. It will be a throw in front of the main grandstand here at Tigerland, and a huge crowd there on Snout-Slouts Hill. Fantastic sight.
It is a great
fans
sight.
of local footy here
We've
this
got
afternoon.
one guy waving to us too, so well done. We're waving back at him.
Hope you enjoyed the coverage of RPH football. And always around the world on www.rphadelaide.org.au as the bodies are flying everywhere. But umpire has found a free kick, and Ivan Marek, the biggest man in the pack, has picked it up. He goes for the kick into the pocket. It's a Smithfield crash shocker.
Again, why would you do that? Why would you lead there to start with? And, you know, Jenner's led there, but why wouldn't he go to the top of the square? I mean,
because you have no confidence in the one-on-one contest in the square. That's why.
Corey Archie up there at full forward. And Marek should have known better, you would have thought, than kicking it into the pocket. So there's Willits doing the ruck work against Marek. So 2 up-and-coming AFL stars playing in the local league. There's it's like jump on the body and build a castle.
Isn't that a song from the 70s? Should have known better.
Should have known. It might have been the 80s, I think.
Okay.
Jim Diamond, I reckon that was. But anyway, there's the ball up inside the forward 50. Marek tapped it down. Jeremy Clayton, one of his few possessions, goes backwards to Summit, and he's wrapped up in the tackle. Got a hand pass to Elston. The kick's gone very high indeed. It's going to land at the top of the square. Archie comes from behind. He smashes it down, but Willits will get there first. No, he won't. Backwell went in hard, and Thomas was giving him some attention. Kicked on Gaelic style beautifully by Cranston. Went to Moore. Went backwards to Allen. Ends up with Mitchell. Now with Moore again as they rebound from 50. The Bays there. Teamwork has been outstanding today. Backwell, other way, son, other way. He turns around now, kicks it to centre half back and finds the captain, Mills.
The runners.
He plays on, gives it to Willits. He better hurry up, Willits. He got enough attention from Slattery, but Douglas will now pick it up, goes backwards to the player there in Gibbs. Well, he got one around the chutney. The umpire said no. Locken now has got it for Port Adelaide. Goes to the 50, looking for Archie. It was over the head of Sherwood. He's going to run onto it, Corey Archie. Nothing's going right. It beats him out of bounds, and it's now in front of the Marble Bar scoreboard. Half forward flank for the Maggies.
And Gibbs and Butcher going
they were going toe-to-toe, weren't they? It was good to see a bit of the old stuff you used to see back in the 70s.
Absolutely.
Bit of biffo. Bring back the biffo.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Taylor's in front of the Grand Central time clock. About 4 or 5 minutes in the tap, and it's in the Magpies forward 50. It comes to the back of the pack. Panozzo is there if he can pick it up, which he can't. So turnover time. Everyone falls to ground. Sherwood's on top of the ball. It's at the top of the goal square. Coming loose to Archie. Just dribbles it through. So Porter got a goal with the breeze. That is their 4th and Archie's first. Marble Bar scoreboard, the Maggies 4-9-33. The Tigers 50
up forward certainly has paid off straight away, kicking a goal in this second quarter. Third quarter. Grand Central time clock says that we've played 5 minutes of this premiership quarter.
There's the ball up back in the centre. Micklejohn getting it down, but only so far as Backwell. He's landed in the mud right in that centre circle of the Bay Oval. Magpies are kicking with the breeze, which is to the school end. The Bays, of course, going to the northern end. So the 70s umpire, he's got that nice shirt on. Cranston getting a half a palm down, but it ends up with Mickeljohn. He's picking up, trying to get a handball. He sort of dribbles it along to Jeremy Clayton. He's going to get collared again, Clayton. Gee, and the hand pass and the turnover. Good pressure again by the Bays, and that was Backwell. Moore got wrapped up almost, but he was enough to get a kick away, and he's been smashed by Elston. That's just foolish.
There's a free kick back here on centre wing to...
Moore. He got collared by Elston.
Yep.
So it's coming back to Benny Moore, and that was very undisciplined indeed by Daniel Elston. So it's coming back to Moore. He's basically centre wing grandstand side.
Starting to get out of hand a bit, some of that stuff, the undisciplined play from Port Adelaide.
And so the Bays seem focused at the moment. Gibbs, of course, having a bit of a run-in with another Port player previously.
That was Butcher.
So ex-teammate saying... get stuff, we don't like you anymore. So anyway, Moore goes sideways and finds Mitchell. If he unloads, he'll hit the top of the goal square. He does that. He won't hit the top of the goal square. Kirkby's in the right spot, but Dolding takes a great contested mark and will kick from about 25 metres out. The angle is slight, and good contested mark there, Darryl.
Certainly was. This is getting very dangerous, isn't it, Phil, for Port Adelaide? The percentage they're going to lose in this, and Dolding stood tall. They're a real PDK highlight, that mark, and Dolding already has kicked a couple. He's lining up for his third in this third quarter. 25 metres out, virtually directly in front. So Dolding comes in now, kicks on its way, and the goal umpire says, that'll do me, boys. I can give you your third, and Glenelg have got their 16th. That play by the Tigers.
Yeah, well, if Dolding didn't mark it, Kirkby was right there to take it otherwise, so not sure where the Port defence was. 2 Tigers, no Magpies, and Glenelg just going on their merry way here. 68 points is the margin as it comes out from the pack.
And
there's Backwell, who rakes up. That's probably possession number 30. It comes to Moore. Moore's kick, it just bounces at centre half forward. Port Adelaide player had it and dropped it. Here comes the Tigers. It comes to Kirkby. He's going to be collared. Gets the hand pass away. He's got a teammate there. They're going backwards to go forward. And stepping in there, intercepting from Hinge is Gibbs. Gibbs goes back to Backwell. He's muddied his Guernsey. Still got the fluorescent boots though. And he goes across field to McConnell. 3 Tigers now. Comes to Cranston. He's at 55. Chips in forward and stretches. Couldn't take the mark. I think that was Dolding. Port player tries to soccer. That's smothered. That's about 20 out from the Tigers' goal. Players dive on it. Umpire will ball it up. We got a stalemate.
That kick to Dolding was probably just, 2 inches too high, wasn't it? He just couldn't stretch enough to get over it, but the Tigers certainly in form.
There's the ball up inside forward 50 for the Bays. A Port player now runs onto it. Island, I think it was, got the hand pass to King. He gets the quick kick away. Straight to McConnell, though. Gee, the pressure from Glenelg has been relentless. McConnell goes not far enough. The umpire called it as soon as he kicked it. Mitchell got ripped off the footy, went up to Elston. Rebounding from defensive 50 was Polton. The kick comes up to centre wing, out of side for Davis. He paddles along. He doesn't get round Benny Mules, who wrapped him up on the tackle quite aggressively. It's now gone out of bounds, and this game is really getting out of hand for Port Adelaide. Glenelg have just had clear winners all over the park and will have a share of 4th spot at the conclusion of round 17. So it's just a matter by how much for. There's Bryce Gibbs, just ran onto that ball unattended, turns around, will kick it now inside 50. Coming from behind is Rogers, but a good spoil there by Locke and Dolding. What can he do? He's trying to get the footy away. It comes back to him now. The quick handball out to Ruwop, but it got past him. Rogers, he's being wrapped up, and the umpire will ball it up around about 45 metres out, directly in front of the Bay goal, going to the northern end.
Well, thanks to Steel Ford, Peter Mann is waiting to come on. He's been there for a couple of minutes. No one wants to come off for the Magpies as Jeremy Clayton's got it. His kick goes end over end. Now he's got a teammate at centre half wing trying to show a little bit of space, and that's a Slattery. His hand pass though to Thomas just was Moore intercepts that. He's wrapped up by Thomas, and Slattery brought to ground, can't get rid of it, and it will be a ball up, and still Peter Mann waits. And so there must be a Magpie player who's got the messages refusing to come off at the moment.
I was just going to say, because there's no runner out there, so that looks very damaging if that is the case for the Magpies.
Anyway, from the scramble, Slattery tries to soccer. It's right by the boundary line. Gibbs picks it up and decides he's going to try and score a touchdown, and churches over the line, but it's another ball up. And now we worked out Cameron Islet was the man they wanted to interchange, thanks to Stillwell Ford. The tap from the ruck comes to Islet. Elstone grabbed high, and the Magpies want to go on with it, but it will come back to Daniel Elstone.
Well, maybe it wasn't Islet. He's just the one that has come off.
He couldn't run away fast enough. As Elston heads for the hot spot, it's about 40 out. Hinge, who's really stepped up as a defender for the Tigers in the last couple of weeks. There's that man again, the Mouse Backwell. He's at he'll kick it along the centre wing grandstand side for Moore. 2 Tigers, 1 Magpie. They should raffle this off. And Moore with a little spin move to King. King to Ruwop. Ruwop to Rogers to bend down and get it back to Ruwop, who missed it. Oh, goal gone begging.
No,
and back free kick and Lux a fortune.
downfield against Moore again.
Yeah, it's going to come back to the player there in Kirkby, I think, is going to get the free kick. Moore was pushed after he got rid of the ball by Clayton, and now Kirkby's got the ball 15, 20 metres out, slight angle to go and kick his first goal for the day. So the Tigers, another opportunity to increase this lead as Kirkby comes in, left foot drop, punts on its way. He says, that'll do me, I'll take that one, thank you very much. He's first, and
Glenelg have just, dissected them and trashed them this afternoon. So Backwell, he's having a day out. BOG from mine. Gibbs has got four. There's the ball up in the centre. Summerton got the quick kick away. Hinge has been doing a great job. Mitchell runs in, but Slattery, gee, did a good job there. But Willits picks it up. Slattery again with a second effort was good. Marek, what can the big Arnold Schwarzenegger bloke do? Kick it forward and find Corey Archie, who marks, well, around about probably 12 metres out, one would have thought, pretty well directly in front, kicking to the school end. And Marble Bar scoreboard 107 to 33 in favour of the Maggies, and Archie will come back and slot his second for the term. So 5-9-39. The Bays are miles in front, 17-5, 100.
Makes it easier for the Bays to score their goals. So we're 10 minutes in here, thanks to Grand Central. The margin back to about 68 points for mine as the clearance comes. I think that might have been Mann with the kick. It comes to the 40 metres out. Loose ball, bottom of the pack. Magpie just homeballs it over his head in hope more than anything planned. As Archie picks it up, he's got a teammate there in open space who shoots. That's Butcher, and Butcher has goal. It's the goal umpire does it again. Signals it between the ball and Butcher's kick too. Magpies, well, that's probably the first time.
The Port Adelaide side.
Okay, so the ball is back into centre. Back-to-back goals to the Maggies. Marble Bar scoreboard, 52 points is the margin. 62, I beg your pardon, in favour of Glenelg. There'll be another ball up. There's Michael John Baird also involved. Jeremy Clayton, Lindsay Thomas in there. Summerton, number 33. And there's Johnny Baird, that man just being mentioned. He got the tap away. Butcher tried to go out of mid-air, and Michael John now picks it up. He handballs it. Will find Butcher. Butcher without any pressure. That was a poor effort indeed. He was a bit worried about what body pressure was coming back. We'll got it back to Willits. Willits kicks it wide. Douglas has got it centre wing out of side. Great shepherd by Backwell. BOG by an absolute country mile this afternoon. Goes to McConnell. The kick was poor, and running onto it is Ruwald. He gets pushed in the back. No, said the umpire. Johnny Baird involved. The tap out, it's done beautifully. Allen, he taps it on to Richard Douglas. He'll do something good. He handballs to Benny Moore. He does a pirouette as he takes the ball. Handballs backwards to Kirkby, the left boot. There's another one to the ties coming. Yes, he's got his second. The Bays 18-5, 113.
Well, his performance there has been absolutely outstanding.
Umpire throws it up in the middle. There's a Glenelg player who got it. Baird wraps him up, so they've moved Baird into the midfield from centre half back. Tim Jennifer ringing changes at the moment. All to pretty much no avail. It's a 62-point margin. 62 points at half-time, and it's a 68 points now. And, of course, the Magpies going with the breezes. From the tap, it Lux of Fortune comes to Butcher.
Gee,
Butcher puts it straight on the boot, which is fine by Ryan Willits. And Marek just wants to wrap him up after the mark, and, of course, that brings 25 metres. And Marek just having explained to him this is the SANFL. And
it'll come back to Mitchell here. No.
And so Willits now checking
up
his options. There's only about, well, there's 3 players behind him. So his kick heads towards the boundary line out of grandstand side. Thomas gets a paw on it, can't keep it in. Mules tries his best, can't do so either. So a bit of a throw in here right in front of the race.
And David Mitchell brought to Glenelg as a full forward this year as a very, very lethal half-back flanker, really. He's played all year. So centre wing grandstand side. Mitchell just lurking, wanting to get onto a 70-metre torpedo. And a free kick has been paid against Cranston. We'll go to Michael John getting involved in his back there, the umpire officiating.
Yeoman's off and Allen on for... Sorry, Allen off and Yeoman's on for courtesy of Stillwell forward.
At Medindi, Nobsy and the boys. The kick from Port Adelaide goes almost to 50. Rock Harry runs over the footy. Hinge got over the shoulder. The umpire saw it. The free kick was there. Nothing malicious, but certainly technicality. It was paid on, and Johnny the Hinge has got it there at half-back. He goes backwards to that man. The half-back flanker used to be full forward. Mitchell, fairly handy if you wanted to throw him at full forward in the final. The Bays might be playing. And the kick goes about 55 metres into the breeze. It bounces terribly, and that was Summerton, I think, getting the ball, kicking it inside 50, and Elstone will kick from about 46 or 7 metres out. 45-degree angle going to the school end, and distance should not be a problem with the breeze.
Certainly shouldn't be a problem with the breeze, because the accuracy, the breeze is very strong. The rain has held off here at the Bay Oval today too, so that's been superb. And Elstone, just to edge them a little bit closer. But it has been an amazing performance by the Tigers. Elstone comes in now, again gets very close to the man on the mark. Has he got the accuracy? Yes, he has. The goal umpire says, that'll do me. He's got his first, and now the Port Adelaide side have got their 7th. Also added 4 goals.
Well, at least for Glenelg, at least for Port Adelaide, it's been a more even contest in this third quarter. Of course, the Magpies with the breeze would normally expect to win it by a few goals. And they do go forward once again, looking for Archie, who can't take the mark. Comes to Mitchell. Archie takes him off the ball, and he didn't have it.
That is just undisciplined play. That is just undisciplined play.
We have seen a lot of that this afternoon in terms of poor tackling. Maybe the emotions of the occasion have got away with a few of the players. I don't know. Anyways, Mitchell has got a teammate running for him on the half-back flank. That's Panozzo. Panozzo hand passes it on, and that's Willett. So we have been amazed this afternoon how much space Glenelg have got as this comes into Douglas. We try and match up the players. We've got no idea because the Glenelg ones are just so free from time to time. It comes to Moore. He just runs away from Thomas. He sends the chip kick into the pocket. Locken taps it down only as far as Sunquist. There's Backwell just waiting for it. And his kick, unfortunately, for the Tigers, lobs in the lap of Thomas. So the Magpies trying to get away. His kick over Smith's head. It's going to take a bad bounce. Smith has a chance to break it up here. He's taken down by Baird. Not a bad tackle in the circumstances. Yep. Slattery now fighting hard for it. He picks it up. He puts Jenner under the pump. He's like a bucket. And Sherwood's come in and said, thank you very much.
That's where the player there should have actually really gave him a real solid hip and shoulder because he wasn't expecting it rather than taking it. But free kick is being paid to Smith for hanging on.
Yep.
So Smith from the Tigers got the ball.
Back to the 70s, that would have been Smithy. He poleaxed him, Sherwood, but he's a very clean customer. Paul Sherwood did well. So no one hurt. Ended up with Gibbs, who kicks it wide to Mitchell. Centre wing out of side. Has the luxury of a bounce, says David Mitchell. What's he going to do now? He's going to have another bounce now. He's probably going to unload from outside 50. He is Mitchell. He's going to have a shot at it, but the kick will not even get there, and the mark will be taken. No, it won't. It'll be dropped by Micklejohn. He handballs off to the Port player there, and that's Dane Fitzgerald. And he's got Jeremy Clayton, centre wing out of side, all on his own. Takes the mark, plays on Summerton, a name synonymous with West Adelaide in the 80s. Greg Summerton, he kicks it now inside forward 50. Mules does a great job keeping Harry out of the contest, which allows Willits to come in. He uses now Mules. Mules goes to centre wing out of side. Panozzo couldn't take the mark because the attention from Jeremy Clayton was very good indeed. He's going to run back onto it, Jeremy Clayton. Great personal performance. There's Sunquist, wraps him up in the tackle though. That's almost holding the ball. Polton taps it on now. Kirkby's in attention with also Backwell. He just goes in and tries to pull the Port bloke away from it. Kirkby's got it now and handballs it over the boundary line on centre wing out of side. Thanks to Cyril Ford at Medindi, who's coming on and off.
We've got a change coming on. The agenda coming off for Port Adelaide. Coming on is number 35 in Tim Luby.
So the umpire throws it in right on the outer side. The ruckman just taking each other out the contest. Comes to Elston, who grabbed it. He was the first man to touch it. Not sure if he can do that. Anyway, his kick inside forward 50. It's a race for the ball. Mules will win that by a country mile. He picks it up, goes back from whence it came. And again, two Tigers, they could raffle it. In fact, one's just going to block in front of the other, I think, as the kick comes forward now. And there's a beautifully strong, you're right there, PDK highlight mark there to the Tigers. It's on centre wing out of side. Checking his options now. He's got a runner for him on the outer side. That's Panozzo. So he's moved upfield. We've seen Mitchell come up. So the Glenelg defenders are backing themselves at the moment.
Well, they're running from behind the ball, aren't they? So that's always a good sign.
And it comes now to Yeomans. So Yeomans is marked. They're slowly but surely working. Of course, all this time, the Magpies' time with the wind is slowly ticking away as that kick went to a contest, tapped out of bounds, throw in, half-forward flank in front of a pretty full family-friendly area here at the Bay Oval this afternoon.
And the Bay families will certainly be pretty happy with their day out. $8 to get into the footy. We do actually thank the SANFL giving us 20 free tickets.
Yeah, we do.
For round 17 this
So we must be
week.
responsible for this crowd turning up today then.
Oh, we are certainly for 20 of them, I would have thought. So there's the boundary line thrown just outside half forward for the Bays. Jeremy Clayton getting involved. He's been caught over the shoulder. Good officiating because the free kick was there. Good to see some consistency from the umpire. Getting up off the turf, Bryce Gibbs. Clayton plays on immediately and gives it to that player Summerton, who's certainly been involved comprehensively. Kicks to Lindsay Thomas. Gee, that was almost a very good mark indeed. He's just been stolen by Rogers, wrapped up in the tackle, got the handball away. The receding hairline to Locken, picks it up. Oh, Russell Ebert type handball. That's from the 70s by Locken. One hand up, he smashed it forward, ends up with Polton, centre wing, grandstand side. He kicks it now inside 50. Archie on a good lead, takes a good mark in front of Sherwood. He plays on now. What's he going to do? The ball's going to be smothered by Sherwood. That was well done. It comes back to Elston. He'll go inside forward 50. Newells, and also a player there from Port Adelaide, which is Luby. Running under it is Rock Harry, but Newells 1-on-2. Great job by him indeed.
Trick being paid to Rock Harry. Okay. He's going to get a free kick around about 15 metres out, virtually directly in front. So Rock Harry, the ex-Eagle, now playing with the Magpies. And so when Polton was streaming down the wing here on grandstand side, reminded me of a very famous Port Adelaide player. We'll go to that player in a minute as Rock Harry kicks a goal for the Magpies. They get their 8 goals, 9, 58 that is. Still trailing the Tigers 18 goals, 15, 115. So Rock Harry, a goal for Magpies. But as Polton was running down here, remember Bruce Light?
I do indeed.
He thought, well, there you go. A flashback to the 70s. Brucey Light, Polton in the Port Adelaide jumper.
Well, since three-quarter time, the Magpies, who had kicked 3 goals, 9 to the half, have kicked 5 without a miss. The Tigers have kicked 4 without a miss, so goals are plenty here at Tigerland this afternoon, and the Magpies just starting to get a bit of a presence on the scoreboard from the centre. And a free kick has been found, and Yeoman's playing, if not his first, possibly just his third game for the Tigers. He's getting a bit of the ball when he's been on. He's got a teammate there in Gibbs on the far side. He's got a teammate further up the ground. So the Tigers moving it nicely up the field in some pretty uncontested marks. Kirkby on a lead, leads Polton to the ball. He can't take the mark. Polton gets up first. Kirkby brings him to ground. Now there's some teammates here for the Magpies. They kick it along looking for Slattery, who couldn't take the mark, takes the bounce. Gibbs and hot pursuit, but Slattery runs away, sends it into forward. He's looking for Archie, who has been a difference for the Magpies up forward. Gives them a marking contest. Archie from 50 centres the ball, and Butcher's taken the mark and goes to ground, and he will shoot 45 straight in front.
As you see a change being made as well, Cranston coming back on for the Tigers. Courtesy of Stillwell forward, and Rogers going off for the Tigers courtesy of Stillwell forward. Medindi, Butcher lining up, centre half forward, true centre half forward position, kicks from 48 metres out and kicks truly. So Butcher now has got his third. He's been the lone goal scorer, the main goal scorer for the Port Adelaide side, and again it's a goal for the Magpies. They've now got their 10th. They go to 10 goals, 9, 69. They still trail the Tigers 18 goals, 5, 113. That is on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Grand Central says that we've played 2 minutes of time on in this third quarter.
So the margin 49 points thanks to Black and White trucks and removals. Melbourne were accounting for the Western Bulldogs, Fremantle easily accounting for Carlton, and it was the Kangaroos by 5 straight goals over a very, very disappointing 2006 Geelong outfit. The ball's back here at the Bay Oval, 18-5 to 9-9 Marble Bar scoreboard. The hit out there by Micklejohn. Bryce Gibbs took it. I'm not sure why he fell over, but he did anyway. He's wrapped up in the tackle. And the Port Adelaide player there applying that pressure, can't pick up who that is just at the moment. So anyway, it's going to be a secondary ball up, slightly favouring the southern end, which is where the Port Magpies are going to. It ends up with that player and Bryce Gibbs. He swung around. That's holding the ball. Great tackle by the Port player there. Can't pick up who that is. It might have been Johnny Baird, was it? Yes, it was. So Johnny Baird's got the free kick in the centre of the Bay Oval. So a little bit of a mini run on here. And the Bays don't want to let Port get back into this affair. And the kick by Baird.
That's a PDK highlight, that Mark, standing there like that.
Very courageous. Archie was on the lead. Benny Moore dropping back. Hasn't been their worst player either today. The Bays, he's been superb, really. But Backwell, well, he's probably up to mid-30s, you would have thought, possession-wise. So he's on track for 50. We've seen that before this year, which was O'Keefe. So the kick rebounds from 50 from Moore and finds Johnny Hinge. He's right at half-back flank.
He hasn't been their worst player either, just quietly.
He's been very good indeed. They've had two good players all over the ground. So Johnny Hinge will come inboard and find the emerging superstar, and that is Bryce Gibbs. He takes it now, kicks it into the centre. Willis is just all on his own. He handballs off. McConnell's got a run, and that's Panozzo. The kick is superb by McConnell. Panozzo takes the mark, runs inside 50 for the Bays. What can he do? What a goal by the Bays. They're 19th. That is magnificent football by Glenelg. The kick by McConnell. They're 19-5, Porter 9-9. 24 minutes gone thanks to Grand Central.
Oh, the skill shown there by the Tiger side was absolutely fantastic. He's heard Paul Bender say the kick from McConnell was spot on. He didn't have to change stride there, Panozzo, and then he actually ran away from his defender and did the kicked it absolutely magnificently into the breeze, and he's got the 9. He's got his first, and the Tigers have got their 19th. So 19 goals, 5, 119. Port Adelaide 9-9. 99-63.
Yeah, 26 minutes gone thanks to Grand Central. A 56-point margin. It was 62 at the half-time break. So a small win to the Magpies in this quarter so far as the hand pass from Baird straight to Hinge, who's thumbed into the turn. Here comes Cranston to Backwell. If it sits, he's got open space in front of him. Got to play to Shepherd, so Backwell can just send the Bays forward. It's through the hands of Dolding. It's a hard ball to get. Poor play's got it. He's up into the turf. In fact, give it away.
That is dangerous, that sort of tackle.
Certainly is, and the player's starting to... And there was a player flattened behind players. The Tigers were going forward beforehand. And umpire was saying play on, and maybe that was the retaliate. So it looks like Chad Davis has it. In fact, it's a Matthew King. He's in the back pocket in front of the Seahorse cricket pitches. He now kicks it forward towards the centre wing from the back of the pack. March, it comes to Gibbs. Again, another possession. He's got a loose player. Again, the number of free Bays players. We say it time and time again, but they're still getting free. Kicks to the top of the square. Smith, 1-on, 2-on-1 contest. Smith takes the mark, except the umpire says play on.
I think the umpire actually called it touched when he kicked it. So
touched off the boot, fair enough.
Straight away. So Rock Harry off and coming on for Chad Davis. And now Backwell coming off and coming on for the Glenelg side is Tyon. And those changes courtesy of Stillwell forward Medindi.
Well, Smithy, you might as well keep going because a free kick has been paid to a Glenelg player, and that is Jeff Smith. Couldn't quite see what it was for, but he is going to kick from about 8.5 metres out, pretty well directly in front for the Bays shot at their 20th.
Unbelievable performance by the Tigers today, and this is what brings crowds back to the football, free-flowing, attacking football, which you see here today at the Tiger land. So Jeff Smith from 15 metres out, point-blank range, goes back and says, thank you very much, I'll take that any day of the week. So that's the 20th on the board for the Tigers, 20 goals, 5, 125, leading Port Adelaide 9-9-63. That is on the Marble Bar scoreboard, and Grand Central says that we played 26 minutes of this third quarter, so a magnificent quarter by the Tigers, kicking into the breeze again. They've added another 6 goals, so they're doing it very, very easily. And we've got the two mascots having a brawl down in the crowd here.
I'm not sure if that's something you want to see followed around the ground.
Gee whiz, unbelievable. But there's a whole lot of people have been dressed up, and I think they're going to, at three-quarter time, go for the best dressed 70s character. So plenty of action happening here at the Tigerland, and congratulations to the SANFL, a wonderful promotion.
There's the old 70s beanie as well down there, I can see, Phil.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Paul. As for the tap-up, well, the Bays have withheld the Magpies' charges back out to the half-time lead, and again a tackle, and some of the Magpies' discipline hasn't really been there in the third quarter. We saw King waiting for ages for someone to come off, and then a few free kicks given away in front of goals, which really didn't have to be there. And from the ruck, it's another free kick. This one, well, this time it goes to the Magpies.
He's pointing both ways.
No, he was actually pointing to the player that
pointing to get back on the mark. So it comes to March. March now with the kick inside forward 50. It goes over the back of the pack. Archie meets it. Thomas runs on strong. He's by the boundary line. He grubbers it. Great attempt. Give him an A for the attempt, D for the result. Hit the bottom of the behind post. The Bays are off though. Quick kick in comes to Panozzo. He scored a goal for the Bays. One of 12 goal scorers for the Tigers this afternoon. His kick, not the greatest. It will lob, I think.
It's
done well on the first bounce in traffic. His hand pass to Moore, though, is not so good because the Magpie defender was there to lay the tackle. It's a stalemate. A ball up. Centre wing out of side.
Okay, so Yeomans there was looking for a free kick. Wasn't there. It was a good tackle by the Port player. There's the ball up Cranston. They really have dominated the ruck work today, the Bay Tigers, and certainly the midfield has as well. It's going to be another ball up on centre wing out of side. Grand Central says we've gone about 25 minutes. 25-125. The Bays. Port 19-64. Marble Bar scoreboard. There's the ball up again. Players just collapsed everywhere, and Yeomans gives it to Bryce Gibbs. He's been a star this afternoon, as have plenty of his teammates. Kicks it inside 50.
Great mark.
Great mark taken by Tim Luby, running backwards with the flight of the football. He rebounds from 50 for the Maggies. Gives it off there to Fitzgerald. I think it was, I beg your pardon, it was Matthew King who kicks it to centre wing out of side. Panozzo, gee, he's just getting better and better as the game goes on, and as the season goes on. He's got it defensive side off centre wing. The kick wasn't good. Give him a wrap, and away you go. Jeremy Clayton's got it now, number 2 for the Maggies. Kicks it inside. Standing all on his own is big Micklejohn, and he'll go back and unload from well, about 50, almost handballed on there to Chad Davis. Yeah, goodness me. But anyway, here he goes, Smithy.
Okay, Micklejohn kicking it to the school end, aided by the breeze. And the breeze has been pretty strong all day, so Micklejohn, I don't know what he's like as a a kicker of the football. Don't see him kick that often, but he comes in now from right on 50. The kicker's on its way, looks pretty good, but it's just going to fade away to the far side and go through for a minor score. So 9 goals, 11, 65 now. The Port Adelaide Magpies trailing the Tigers 25, 125 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. If you're looking for a place to go this afternoon or tonight, go into the Marble Bar in 109 Weymouth Street in the city, and they'll certainly look after you in there. A great place for some food too. And the nachos, they tell me, Phil, is the best you've ever had.
Yeah, fantastic nachos. Looking forward to sampling those again pretty shortly. As Mitchell now, what will he do with this one? In fact, he only slightly gets hold of this one. It still lobs at the edge of the centre square and the mark taken by. The thing about Mitchell's kick, it's not the distance, but they more often than not will find a Bay player. And so, you know, they're at centre wing before you actually look up for marking the point. Is the hand pass to Willits has got Gibbs. Gibbs, he's in the centre of the ground. He's got a runner for him on the outer side. Chance now for the Bays to lock and load, except the siren blows. So Port have had their best quarter of the game, but have only made a 2-point impression. It's an even 10 goals. Glenelg 25-125, Port 9-11-65 on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Yes, in that quarter, Port Adelaide added 6 goals too, and the thing about it is that the percentage might pay a big effect at the end of the year, so they'll be going for a percentage victory here.
Yeah, we'll get an update from Phil as the game unfolds. There's the ball up in the centre. Cranston probably should have been a free kick, one would have thought, for a push in the back to Port, but nothing doing, says the umpire. Bryce Gibbs appeared to push Summerton into the turf, but nothing doing. So there's the secondary ball up, if you like. Cranston being hurled, one would have thought again, but anyway, must be letting things go. He came from Cranston, went back to McConnell. He gets a little funny kick away. Butcher will be the first one there. Moore is also in pursuit, but getting it is Clayton. He's wrapped up by Gibbs in the tackle, and it will be another ball up inside the centre square. So within the first minute, thanks to Grand Central of the last quarter, and the Bays will have a share of 4th spot on the ladder, along with Central Districts above them, 1 game further clear. So there is Elston kicking it inside 50, but Willits, gee, he's been a good player today. They've had good players all over the joint, and Hinge is going to get this football now. He's one of them. He takes the mark, plays on, and as he handballs, rebounds from 50 for the Tigers, gives it the back.
Look at this.
Here's McConnell. He's miles on his own, and if he didn't drop the mark, he would have been able to run another 30 metres, but he gets around too easily, Slattery, and he kicks inboard and finds Allen, who takes the mark, gets some attention from Thomas. Allen plays on immediately to Hinge. Great running from defence by the door, Hinge. He goes inside forward 50, and Doherty won out with Locken. It's bounced all funny like, and it's gone through for a rush behind off the hand of Rogers.
Yeah, well, the Bays already had 12 goal scorers this game. Hinge almost number 13 there. That took a real shaky bounce, but instead the Magpies have cleared it out. They've got the ball in front of the Marble Bar scoreboard, which is great reading if you're a Tigers fan, and the Tigers will go to a 4th position. And just with a better percentage than the 3rd place Central, just a game behind. Pack flies out of side, comes to the front of the pack. Magpies have picked it up. It goes to Jeremy Clayton. His kick is partially smothered out of bounds. And the story now, Glenelg and Norwood play next week. If Norwood win, Port drop out of the top 5, and of course Port have got the bye next week, so they'll just have to watch it from the grandstands. The throw in there, a bit of a wobbly one. Cranston taps it down. Moore has got it. He's under pressure, runs it back over the boundary line, back from whence it came, so the boundary umpire a chance to redeem himself with a second shot. It's on the centre wing or half-forward flank favouring the Tigers. They're going with the breeze in the final quarter. They lead this one by 61 points to break a 10-game losing streak against the Magpies. As it comes down now to Baird. Baird's hand pass is out there, comes to Summerton. He's by the boundary line. His grubber kick skedaddles everybody. Actually, they have to go back and went past 4 players, which is a pretty unbelievable. Sherwood's out there, and he just hand passes it over to a kid over the sideline.
He does, and the 70s boundary umpire is going to bring it in, so almost directly on centre wing outer side, right in front of the Stillwell Fort at Medindi sign there. And g'day, Nobesy. Hope you're having a nice afternoon. So there's the boundary line throw in. Cranston and Micklejohn both holding each other. Gibbs took it and handballed to Hinge. Gee, there's some promise, because these 2 players will be playing AFL in the next 5-6 years and on. And then their kick goes inside 50. The mark's being taken by Doherty. 25. Dead set. Dumb and stupid by Locken. The mark was taken by Doherty, drags him to the ground. What was a 50-50 kick maybe becomes an 80-20 kick.
Well, it doesn't come 80-20. It comes 100%.
Yeah.
So Doldig now is going to go right to the line. Well, what happens, Phil, is once you actually, he's got his 4th on the board, and so that's the 21st for the Tigers. 21 goals, 6, 1-32. Port Adelaide 9-11, and that is 65. I think that because he gets it into the goal square, he goes right to the line. So that's the ruling there. So Doldy's got his 4th, and he now comes the equal highest goal scorer on the ground with Bryce Gibbs.
Smithwell forward into Stillwell forward interchange. Smith on, and Kirkby, I think that was coming off for the Tigers, who press home the advantage further. Margin out 67 points, more than double the Tigers score. Mickeljohn got the tap. It's a bit of aerial ping pong. Cranston goes in and get it. He's met into the turf. It's a bit of a muddy, hard area there, and quite a few players that go down come up with pretty brown Guernseys. As this time it is the throw up. Again, a Magpies tap, but it's this time to Gibbs, who's got the presence to get it back to Mitchell, who tries and send it wide looking for Allen. Now Clayton's in hot pursuit, does well to intercept. Now comes to Elston, who's probably been the best of the midfielders. Elston was a bit undecided, and he was depossessed of the ball. He was retarded, and that's holding the ball. Tigers a free kick. So now Glenelg have been pretty good on the rebound this afternoon. There's Mitchell. Again, open space. Looks like Magpies just don't want to chase their teammates when they're running downfield. As the kick comes to half forward, running through Rulock. Brilliant stuff. He's 20 out, and of course he misses. And that's a rare behind for the Tigers this afternoon. 21-7, 133.
Actually, I think that might have been smothered by Locken there, so well done to Matthew Locken.
And the Magpies 9-11, 65 marble bar scoreboard.
Okay, so the Port Adelaide Magpies have got it at the southern end goal square, and that player down there is Fitzgerald, who kicks now and finds... who's that? Tommy Carr in the back pocket, right in front of the marble bar scoreboard. Not very nice if you're from Magpie land, because they're 65. The Bays are 133. He comes across goal, and he misses King. Well, King misses it. He goes to Douglas, gives to Graham. There's number 22 to the Bays. 22-7, 139. The Maggies are 9-11, 65. 3 to Matty.
Port Adelaide disappointing on 9 goals, 11, 65.
So 74 points the margin. 73 according to Paul.
No, 74.
74. Alrighty, as it comes forward now, Clayton has got it. He's got Thomas, who, look, has been pretty impressive in game number 3 for the Magpies. He's been in trying to get as much of the ball. One of the Archie trips over the umpire, comes to the front of the pack. Glenelg play their driving. That's sure. Gee, it's just a circus performance now by the Tigers. It comes to Hinge. Hinge has got Backwell. Still haven't worked out who Backwell's opponent this afternoon is. Maybe it is Jeremy Clayton. They've just been playing off each other all day.
They haven't figured it out either, Paul.
In which case, full points to Backwell. And, of course, we will have PDK Player of the Year votes. He's got Douglas, and Daryl Smith will give the votes. Douglas's kick is high. Gives a chance for Mark to go back and take the mark.
Yep.
And so he's at defensive 50. Tries to bring it in board to Baird, who marks still on defensive 50. He centres the ball up. Got a play there. The Hinges in hot pursuit to make a contest. Davis keeps good semblance of mind there to read the ball. Send the Magpies in forward. It goes over the back of the pack. Plenty of Tigers there to mop up to Mules. He puts a teammate under pressure as Davis comes in and lays the tackle. Out of bounds in front of the inflatable blow-up. What do you call it? Man, person, who has been the target of the kids all afternoon.
Yes. We saw when we got him, we saw one kid absolutely going to town on him. It was like it was a punching bag. It's fantastic.
They've got him well and truly under control at the minute, that's for sure. There's the boundary line throw, and it was Mickeljohn getting a half a tap away and running away with it. Looks like Elston there, and he'll go inboard inside 50, and Slattery has taken the mark. And sorry, Phil, before I thought it was 73 points. How ironic, the Bays, 73 points, won a flag during the 70s.
Okay, so Slattery, who ironically wears the number 47 jumper, which has got nothing to do with 73. But he's lining up from 40 metres out directly in front. So to give Port Adelaide their 10th goal on the board. Can he do it? Let's see. He comes in now, comes back, leans back forward, and has he kicked the goal? Oh, the paper's starting to stream and start coming on, which we haven't seen for a long time at SANFL footy. He's kicked his 3rd, and Magpies have got their 10th on the board. They go to 10 goals, 11, 71, still trailing the Glenelg side. 22 goals, 7, 139. That is on the marble bar score. But a lot of these players, Phil, they wouldn't know what these things have been flying on over the fence. They would have seen streamers flying on the ground.
Now, there's one poor security bloke who's got to go. There's probably about 15 out there. So that'll keep someone busy in employment for about 10 minutes.
And PDK highlights from the goal umpires today. They've done not only looking 70s, but they've actually recreated the way that the goal umpires used to do the 70s goal umpiring.
And Benny Moore comes off to a raucous applause from the Glenelg faithful.
You wouldn't want to take your 100-game player off, would you?
Well, he just has, so there you go. So there's the centre clearance from the base. Thomas, more so in frustration than anything, has smashed it forward. Archie does a pirouette, goes back to Clayton. He's going to run around the Glenelg opponent, should kick the goal from 35 metres, and does. So back-to-back goals within a minute to the Maggies. Clayton has got from mind his first goal of the afternoon. The Magpies have got their 11th, and the Bays are miles in front on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
They certainly are. 22 goals, 7, 139. That's the Bays. 11, 11, 77 are the Magpies. And Grand Central tells us we've played 6 minutes of this final quarter. And certainly Sting gone out of the game. The Tigers worked so hard in those first 3 quarters to build up this lead. And now they're kicking with the breeze. They're probably taking a little bit easier of taking the foot off the throttle.
And the streamers are still flying. So it looks like it's going to be now a little game of cat and mouse between the cheer squad and the security guys to keep those streamers down there on the wraps. Of course, the Magpies are kicking that way. If it's going to put anyone off, it's going to be your own forward. So not sure about the brilliance of that. Anyway, come back to the game as Marich has got it. He kicks it inside centre of 50. There was a Tigers player there who was kind of sandwiched, and one Tiger player I think's cramped up as well. That was Willits. Willits has got the ball to Mitchell. He gets it onto Mills, and the Tigers are away. They kick down looking for Smith, who marks the ball in front of the Magpie opponent, who goes to ground to Smith as a Nike Duke and jive around him.
Beautiful.
Now the kick inside. Beautiful play, Tigers. And Rogers, who's probably been one of the quieter Glenelg players, will have a shot for goal number 2.
I reckon Jeremy Clayton might have hurt himself in that jump too. So to Rogers, he's lining up.
We'll just make mention about those streamers. Welcome to Kleenex this afternoon. Toilet rolls.
Used to be able to buy them about $5 for a bag of 30 of them. They were fantastic.
Rogers lining up from 48 metres out. Kicks to the southern end. The kick is on its way. Has it gone through? It has, but it's gone through for a minor score. So a point on the board, 22 goals, 8, 140. And the point outside, 11, 11, 77. As Polton comes on and Clayton comes off, courtesy of Stillwell forward at Medindi.
Okay, so Locken plays on immediately. Handballs to Lindsay Thomas. He rebounds from defensive 50 with a kick to Cameron Island. He's been quiet and he's had plenty of mates today. He kicks it to centre wing grandstand side. It's taken on the bounce there by Allstone. He turns around, number 14, kicks it inside 50. Willits has taken the mark, but it's a free kick to Corey Archie. So they kicked 3 in a row. I beg your pardon. It's James Micklejohn that will have the kick from, about 35 metres out, pretty well directly in front, slight angle, but anything going to the northern end.
Yes, he certainly is. And, well, they've got a bit of a run on, haven't they, Port Adelaide at the moment? But the Sting gone out of the game, as we said. And a big Micklejohn, yet to kick a goal today, will come in from around about 35 metres out. Kicks on its away. Has he kicked the goal? The Magpie faithful behind say yes. The goal umpire also says yes. And so that's another goal on the board for the Magpies. And they now have got their 12th. And Micklejohn has got his first. So still the 22 goals, 8, 140. At Port Adelaide, 12 goals, 11. That's on the Marble Bar scoreboard. 10 minutes gone, courtesy of Grand Central here at the Angus Securities Game of the Day. You're on RPH Football. Other supporters of the Game of the Day, of course, are the Marble Bar, also PDK Financial Services, Grand Central, Black and White Trucks and Removals, Smithfield, Crash and Repairs, and Stillwell Ford at Medindi.
Margin back to 57 points as Micklejohn kicks his first goal this afternoon, and Amara gets the tap down Backwell at the bottom of the pack. Can't get it loose, but he can get a free kick. And we need to see what Brackwell's stats are, because they would be plenty this afternoon. His hand pass to Mitchell. Mitchell manages to get the kick away under some pressure. Streaming out is Rogers. He taps it over his head. Gibbs trying to run onto it right by the boundary line. He won't be able to keep it. And that's by the Grand Central time clock. It shows 12 minutes gone. That is thanks to Grand Central and Marble Bar scoreboard. The Tigers will end their 10-game drought against the Maggies because they lead this one by 57 points.
Free kick off the ball.
Off the ball. Silly.
Daniel Elstone just threw down, is that Bryce Gibbs? Yeah, so just threw him down. So Bryce Gibbs has got the free kick 52 metres out.
But, I mean, the boundary line, the boundary umpire hadn't even let loose with the ball yet.
Unbelievable. Well, Bryce Gibbs has got the ball, and the way he can kick the ball, he certainly has a chance. As we see Paul A. Stillwell forward change in just a moment. So Bryce Gibbs now coming in from around about 52 minutes. Allen off for Yeomans, on for the Tigers, courtesy of Stillwell Ford at Medindi. Bryce Gibbs, the kicks from 52 metres, goes up to the goal square. Can anyone up there take a mark? Nearly Smith, but off the ground it goes through for a minor score. Another point on the board to the Tigers. 22 goals, 9, 141. Port Adelaide, 12 goals, 11 as they quickly bring the ball back in.
OK, the mark's been taken by King. He went to Summit and he gets a funny-looking kick around the corner looking for Butcher. It found him, but he didn't really have anyone because he's handballed it back in the direction of Dolding. He's wrapped up the Port player in the tackle and it spills free and goes out of bounds. I was just going to say Glenelg looked like they're going to kick a cricket score, and then I saw the score between Sri Lanka and South Africa. They made 674 or something declared. It was just ridiculous. They were 2 for 14, then 3 for 638, if you don't mind. So there you go. Thanks to Black and White Trucks and Removals, those scores.
And that was against South Africa.
It was indeed. So Beaujay 65 overs, none for 221, just to add to that. There's Dolding. He's got it. He handballs backwards to Douglas, but he was out of bounds anyway. In fact, it was Sunquist.
And Stillwell Ford change there. We saw Elston come off because of that indiscretion. Rock Henry coming on.
OK, Rock. He loves Ronnie Fuller. Don't worry about that, former coach of him. There's the boundary line throw, and it is Marek and Cranston, but coming over from the side was number 11, Sunquist. It ends up with Ruwald, who kicks it inside 50. What can Jeff Smith do? Nothing, because it bounces terribly. Locken's got it now. He handballs backwards. Did this once before Port, and it didn't come off. Tommy Carr finds a Rock Harry, number 8 for Port. He takes the mark. Oh, the kick is terrible. Smithfield crash. It's marked by Gibbs. He'll go in. Number 5 for Bryce Gibbs. No. 4 goals. 1.
See, he tried to jab at the ball rather than kick through the ball. That was the difference. Same as what Motlop did last week.
Yes, good afternoon, Daniel. Still probably crying about that. Should have kicked the goal. Smithfield crash, clanger by Rock Harry.
Actually, we didn't ask Daryl at half-time about his application. Must do that if we get a chance post-game. But anyway...
I might have to wait till next week. I might show you. I might be looking for a reference.
Well, we've got plenty of references on radio, no doubt about that, as the Magpies kick it in now. And this time they find a target. Nice kick comes to Baird onto Harry, and suddenly the Magpies looking smooth, going through the middle of the ground. They kick it inside forward 50, comes off hands to Eilert, comes now to Slattery. Panozzo's got his measure, but manages to get the hand pass away to Davis, who's trying to take on the defence single-handedly. In the meantime, the umpire has found a free kick, and it will go back to Luke Slattery.
And Gibbs off for Glenelg, coming on Ben Moore, courtesy of Stillwell Ford at Medindi.
So the coach is ringing the changes here as we're in the twilight of this game. The margin, no doubt about it. The kick from Slattery looking for Archie at the back of the pack. Butcher playing soccer at the moment. Has to pick it up. Then he's flattened in the back by Sunquist. Umpire says, well, you used to play for the Tigers. I'll let that one pass. It comes to Mitchell. Mitchell now the hand pass over to a teammate in Douglas. Douglas off to another Tiger, and suddenly there's space galore for Smith to run onto. He's got centre wing all to himself at the moment. He picks it up. He doesn't waste time bouncing run. He sends it long for Kirkby. Beautiful long visionary kick, and Kirkby marks 50 by the boundary line. He's going into the pocket. Maybe not the best decision for Rogers against Fitzgerald.
So you had the player there for the Tigers running into the goal square, Rewalt, all on his own. So that's where the kick should have gone.
Yeah, so Aaron Rogers, it was being led to the footy. Kick wasn't quite good enough, went over the boundary line, right in front of the marble bar scoreboard, looking resplendent this afternoon in the sunlight. 22-10, 142, the Bays. Port 12-11-83. There's the boundary line throw in, and Cranston and Micklejohn. It was Cranston. Oh, what a job he did there. Oh, Rogers, he almost took the mark. It didn't matter because Ruwald almost kicked the goal. Somebody does now. That's McConnell. He puts his hand up. So does the gentleman in front, because he's a Bays man and he's stoked. McConnell has got his second for the afternoon. The Bays, on they go.
They certainly do on they go. And McConnell turned around and gave the wave to the snouts louts on the hill too. So certainly one of their favourite players. But the Tigers, you've got to be impressed with their midfield today. Have been superb. McConnell, Backwell, all the way they've been running through. Bryce Gibbs through there as well. Ben Moore, Yeomans have all got good touches and valuable game time as well. And Port Adelaide, they'll go away from here thinking, gee whiz, where do we go to from here?
Well, I think actually that the Louts are the player sponsors for McConnell. So they
are? Okay.
And they'd be very happy with his form in recent weeks. He's been the Bays' best their last 3 matches, and, well, probably not their best
and
today.
And they're waiting to us now, the snouts louts, which is good to see. So they've got their player on board, which is fantastic.
Anyway, the ball up in the middle of the ground, and a few tired bodies you would expect at this time of the day. The Magpies will have plenty of time the rest of the bye next week No time to celebrate too much for Tiger fans. A huge game, Cooper Stadium, next Saturday afternoon against, well, the also in form Redlegs. As it goes towards the outer side, Baird had it, he lost it. Douglas a chance to pick it up. Now there's Ruod, who's had a pretty good game up forward. There's another visionary hand.
McConnell's got another one here, you watch.
So it comes forward now. McConnell is by himself at the top of the square. In fact, well done by, I think, Davis to tap it forward. But there is a Tiger man there. It comes back to Mitchell. Mitchell, it was the full forward for Werribee. Gives a banana kick. And gets his first goal. Goal scorer number 13 for the Tigers. Just go on merry, merry way. That is goal number 24, if you don't mind. 24-10. And that is 154. The Maggies 12-11-83.
Well, they kicked 6 goals into the breeze into the first quarter, kicked 8 in the second quarter with the breeze. They kicked 6 in the third quarter, kicking into the breeze, and now they've added another 4 thus far into this quarter. So the chain is being raid again, and as we saw the player coming off, Hinge coming off for Bryce Gibbs, courtesy of our good friends at Steelwell Ford at Medindi.
Hello, Nobesy. And good afternoon to all people involved with Angus Security as our major broadcast sponsor. There's the ball up in the centre. Rock Harry. He ran about 20 metres backwards, got the kick away. It was terrible anyway. Smithfield crash, good afternoon. It comes to Moore. Moore runs inside. 50, number 25. Oh, the Tigers are red hot. 25-10, 160, 12-11-83 the Magpies. This is a building.
It certainly is a building. Just great play again and good work out of the centre square by the Tigers, and that's where they've been winning today all day in that centre square to get first usage of the ball, particularly on a small ground like the Tiger ground is, or the Glenelg Oval is, and it does give you opportunity. But great finishing again by the Tigers. They've now kicked their 5th goal in this quarter. 25 goals, 10, 160. Port Adelaide 12-11-83.
And Moore, goal scorer number 14 for the Tigers. So there's only 7 on the paddock who haven't kicked the sausage roll this afternoon, and they just might be just lining up. We've hit time on thanks to Grand Central, and the party is well and truly on. You wish the Bay Disco was on the night, because it'd be rocking as a Yeomans just goes to ground, kicks it over his head, goes and finds a teammate. It's been that kind of day for the Tigers. So this is the race for the ball. It's Smith leading Lock into the ball. He's got to try and pick it up. Does so now. Needs a teammate to go back to. In fact, Butcher might have called for it because it went to him. And Butcher actually manages to get past Douglas and just send it forward. Now he's brought to ground. Was it a push in the back? Bit hard to tell from here. Umpire was a bit closer, and they're going in pretty hard, actually. Umpire will ball it up. It's on the centre wing, out of side.
And, Darryl, you must be happy with Glenelg's performance. They've been relentless. They're miles in front. They just keep doing the 1%ers as well.
Exactly right, and that's what does win your football games, and they have not stopped doing it from the first match. There's an old saying in footy, you play from siren to siren, and that's exactly what the Tigers are doing.
So there's the boundary line throw. It ended up with Davis after a few players touched it. Ends up now with Eilert going to the northern end. The Maggies, it just goes to Mills. Defence from Glenelg has been outstanding. A free kick will be played to Jared Sundquist. It's play on.
It's got to come back.
Got to come back.
Free kick.
So Jared Sundquist has been quiet this afternoon. Would be happy that he's back in the ones, though, after spending a few weeks in the Magoos. He kicks it across ground and will find Ruwalt's been a good player. He takes the mark and rebounds from 50 and has the luxury of a bounce. The Forest, Big Sherwood having a chat. So is Ryan Willits. He now gets very close to Archie. The kick wasn't good, but it almost gets to McConnell. He comes down to the front of the pack. Harry, he handballs onto a player there in Man, who kicks it, and Sherwood, gee, they've just been resolute in defence.
They've been relentless, haven't they? They just have not stopped and given Port Adelaide any hope at all.
So Mitchell, it was actually touched, I think. Well, the umpire paid the mark, so no, it wasn't. Mitchell on the left boot. That goes 50 metres as well. As Smith trying to get involved there. Bryce gives what can he do? Some attention there by King. He smashes it forward. It's going to be 2-on-1, but the bounce is shocking. Kirkby runs onto it. What can he do? He'll handball it backwards or kick it. Will he? No. Good pressure by the Port Adelaide player, and Kirkby jumps on him. He's not giving him a hug because he likes him. He's trying to get the footy, and it's right on the 50-metre line, right in front of the Marble Bar scoreboard, which says 22 minutes have gone, and the Marble Bar scoreboard is plenty in favour of the Bays. There's the ball up now. It was Baird getting it to Butcher, only kicking it so far as the player there in Mills. He taps it on now. Benny Moore, can he kick another one? He wouldn't mind. He comes inboard now to Mitchell. He'll unload. He will unload. He does that from outside 50, Mitchell, and he misses to the near side. And he just wanted to cover himself in glory, but couldn't.
Still forward change too, and the player on for the Tigers is Allen off is Backwell, and he's been a great player for the Tigers too today.
you what, when Mitchell had the ball open space 60 out, we all had the same thought, didn't we?
Yes.
Certainly made the distance, and Brett Watwell having a well-deserved rest, but it might cost him his possession. He's just, in fact, it's water wars between him and the Water Girls, so it is party time at Glenelg, and why not? This is an emphatic win this season. For the Magpies, though, they've got the ball. That might be Summerton who breaks out of the pack. He's got man on the far side there, so the Magpies going forward. In fact, Polton's got a bit of space here. He can go all the way. He's 55 out, takes the bounce, runs inside 50. He's in the pocket, comes to 40, doesn't go for goal, heads for the top of the goal square. Marek takes the mark, takes on his Glenelg at the same time, and there comes the streamer.
The big toilet roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marriage has got the ball marked in the goal square, and will go back and line up for...
They're actually not toilet rolls, they're cash register rolls.
Okay, so Marriage coming in now. There's a bit of angst going on. It has kicked the goal for the Magpies. So all of a sudden now the Magpies 25 goals, 11, 161, and the Tigers, the Magpies, 13, 11, 89, and this has been a comprehensive thrashing, and it's been a good day of football as some of the crowd are starting to give the Magpie supporters a bit of curry, which is probably not the best way of doing things at the end of the day.
No, just say, well, better luck next time, and you certainly wouldn't want to use the cash register in place of the toilet roll, so could be a bit of carnage there. 25-11 to 13-11. The margin is exactly 12 goals in favour of the Bays, and that is 72 points. There's the kick out from the centre ball up at Sunquist, running onto it, got a knee to it, went to Moore. Moore goes backwards to Forrest Sherwood there. He gets the left boot, and Douglas will run onto it in front of John Baird, who doesn't really look interested just at the moment. He's just cantering along as though he's just going for a bit of a run in the park. Douglas will go inside 50. Getting involved was Fitzgerald, couldn't get a hand on it. Neither could Rogers, but he's opposite number 23, picks it up for the Maggies, and he will kick it across ground and find Lindsay Thomas. Certainly hasn't been their worst player. He takes the mark, plays on, and rebounds from 50, all with that movement, and finds Islet centre wing grandstand side. The kick is going to go so far as Davis, who takes the mark, and he handballs off to Slattery. He bounces as he runs inside 50. Slattery, have they got another one, the Maggies? Yes, they have. Great finish by the Magpies. Well done. They've got their 14. Personal 4 goals for Slattery is a good performance.
It certainly is a good performance as he's been a lone hand up forward. We saw Butcher kicking 3, but Slattery's got the 4th. I think he's got one in each quarter, so he's been a good player for the Magpies there. 25 goals, 11, 161. Port Adelaide 14, 11, 65, so 66 points in favour of the Tigers. They did lead by 60 points at quarter time, three-quarter time, 62 at half-time, 29 at the end of the first quarter. So they've maintained that lead all the way through the day.
Yep, 23 minutes gone thanks to Grand Central. The Magpies, a couple of easy open space goals there, so maybe the Tigers just started to take their pedal off it at the moment, because Backwell, of course, is off, and he was their main engine room. The Southerners, Summerton had it. He swung to the ground. Now it comes loose, comes to Yeomans, looking for someone to hand pass. That put him under pressure. Umpire says, wasn't holding the ball, wasn't in the back. I want my footy. And I will have it 48 out from the Tigers goal. They put on 25 sausage rolls this afternoon. The Magpies 11, 66 points the margin here at Tigerland. As Mickeljohn taps it straight down to Douglas. Douglas is just a high kick. It's a tap sport. He's going to run onto it. Everybody misses it. Fitzgerald comes in. He misses it. Who wants the hard? No one wants the hard footy at the moment. As a Tiger player there, and Rogers, surprise, surprise, he's taken. Comes to Ruwat. He kicked the opening goal of the first and third quarters, but his kick is awry. And suddenly the Bays played with some inaccuracy. 25-12, 162. Port 14-11, 95. Marble Bar scoreboard.
Okay, so Locking it is, he's had a few possessions. Most of them don't count because they've been kicking in behind. So he goes to the player there for Port Adelaide. I think Luby it was, and he kicks it to centre wing grandstand side. That just sums up Port's day. Islet just ran over the top of the footy. His teammate ran over to him as well. McConnell runs onto the footy. He's got it centre wing grandstand side. Comes wide and gets to Doldig, but no, it was out of bounds on the full. So the player, Luby, will get the free kick there. Matty Doldig taking a couple of big ones. And Luby, you want to go back further than that, son? You're going to kick it into the man on the mark. He comes now to Lindsay Thomas, a likely-looking sort of young lad at 18 years old. Has been very good. He's got bandages on his hands and wrists and so on and so forth. He kicks it up to half forward. Hinge comes in from the side. Was good indeed. Slattery involved. He tries to tap it on. Davis getting involved also. Lindsay Thomas dives on it. Well done by Ty Allen. Oh, Sherwood did it with strength. The handball was only so far as Islet. Islet's got a loose player inside 50, but Benny Moore will come in if you don't mind. Take the mark. Play on. Rebound from 50 and find Ruwalt.
And away we go again. Ruwalt right in the middle of the Glenelg Oval. Gets around Thomas, who over-pursued. Ruel's taken 2 bounces. He's going to run to 50. Will he go for the team play? He does. Centres the ball. This is Tigers everywhere. Where's the Magpies defence gone as it goes to Rogers? His kick couldn't make the distance. In fact, it's gone to Gibbs. He's marked on the boundary line. That is, well, dumb doesn't describe it by half, because Gibbs had a shot by the boundary line. The 25-metre penalty, he would be straight in front from the goal line. Yep. That Port defender, whoever it was, has just given a goal away.
He certainly has, and Gibbs is going to go now and just kick his 5th, and he played on the Glenelg supporters certainly giving it to the Port Adelaide coach's box as well, right alongside us, which is probably not the nicest thing to do. But
he might have a 5th quarter action there.
He might have a 5th quarter a little bit later on, but nevertheless, Gibbs has got his 5th, and the Tigers now have got their 26. So they've averaged the 6 goals a quarter. They've got another 6 in this quarter. 26 goals, 12, 168. Port Adelaide 14, 11, and 95. On the marble bar scoreboard, Grand Central Chelsea have played 24 minutes of this final quarter.
And the margin is 73 points. There's the ball up in the centre of the ground. Cranston and Marich. He tunnel balls it over to the Port player who got it out, but only so far as McConnell goes backwards to Cranston. Slippery looking ball goes to Allen. Pretty dark. He's going to rain in a moment. The hand pass to Sundquist. Got it on centre wing. He does pretty well because he got a hand pass to Allen, who goes backward because he's got support from teammates. He's got Mules. He's got Ruwalt there as well. Mules will go inside 50. What's going to happen here? The Glenelg player slipped over, and the mark can't be taken by the Port player in Luby, who takes it across the line. Rogers giving him a bit of assistance, and yeah, the Bay fans out there in front of the function centre, quite a nice place as well, are pretty happy.
Was it this time last year we watched these two teams play, and we were commenting about Glenelg's lack of discipline when Tony Burgess was the coach, and Peter Simmons had been sacked, and it's just the boot completely on the other foot here this afternoon. Amazing the turnaround over a given year. The discipline from the Magpies at times has been absolutely appalling this afternoon.
40 goals for the day is a great turnout for the SANFL.
Attacking footy, isn't it? It's not like you see, 9 versus 8 goals. It's just been attacking football, and we've seen that from North Adelaide. We've seen that from Central Districts as well. We see that from the Eagles, and that's the way the SANFL would like to play their footy, getting the crowds back as well.
From half-forward flank, Cranston got the tap down. It's a hard ball to get. In fact, Allen's come away. There's come to Douglas. He's on the boundary line. He doesn't go for goal. He centres it up. And it's a beautiful mark. There's that man again, and good luck with the PDK votes down the street. Bryce Gibbs has taken the mark for number 6.
Absolutely fantastic, hasn't he? So he's lining up now for goal number 6. But I suppose you've got to look at the PDK votes and think about who was the player that actually set the game up at the start. And you're looking at maybe Backwell was one of those players that did that. So he's been absolutely fantastic. So Gibbs comes in. He just stabs it at this one, and he has got it through. So he has got his 6th, and the Tigers now have got their 27th. 27 goals, 12, 168, and they lead Port Adelaide 14, 11, and 95. 27 goals, 12, 174, I should say.
My margin of 73 points has been blown out by Bryce Gibbs. It's now 79 in favour of the Tigers. The chance gone up. Cranston got up high. Marek stayed on the ground and got the tap away. Oh, going in hard was a Port player. Did he get taken high? It didn't matter anyway. They had the ball. It was Eilert. Comes back now to Summit, and he slips over in the middle. Cranston tries to give him some attention. Baird and Butcher are just on their own, just outside half forward for the Maggies. Baird runs to half forward. He kicks it in forward. That is dead set. Terrible. He's spotted out Sundquist. He plays on now and gives it to McConnell. 25 metre has been paid against the player, Port Adelaide player. I think it was Slater. He ran over the mark. And a 25 metre brings Sundquist to centre half back. So what will he do?
McConnell will get it again anyway.
Get it back anyway. So Sundquist, he wants to go straight down the guts. He now comes down to centre wing. What can Mules do? He can almost take a good mark. Good attention by Polton, getting involved. Douglas smashing it backwards to Moore. Moore getting wrapped up by Polton. It was. But he's too good anyway. Benny Moore, he just ran around them, gave it to Hinge by hand. What's going to John Hinge do? He's going to go inside 50, looking for McConnell. Takes the mark. Could have played on, didn't, and will kick from 50.
Oh, unbelievable play. And that play there by Benny Moore was absolutely outstanding, and compliments to him because it's his 100th game, and it's always good to play well in a milestone game, and he's certainly done that for the Tigers today. And this player hasn't been their worst player either in Justin McConnell. He's already kicked 2. He's going back now to kick his 3rd, and the Tigers 28 to equal their highest score for the season. So McConnell comes in now from 50 metres out. He actually jabs at it. Has he got the distance? He certainly got the distance, but not the accuracy. So 27 goals, 13, 175. They lead Port Adelaide 14, 11, 95.
Spot on. 30 minutes gone as the kick in is a Smithfield crash clanger. We've seen a few of those from the Magpies. It's a tough ball to get. In fact, there's a quick kick on the boot. And the Magpies might be away here because the Glenelg players had all run up. Islet's got at centre. He's got a few runners with him. Elects not to use him. He's got a Polton to aim for. Coming in hard was Mules to force the contest. It's out of bounds. At least 210.
Okay, so there's the boundary throwing. Sorry, Phil.
And it comes down at the bottom of the pack. The Tigers again with the clearance. Sunquist getting into some late action. Through the hands quickly. Now they're away, running through, taking a bounce. Here comes the hand pass. Here comes Mules with the kick. Centre half forward. Doldig marks unopposed. If he nails this, it'll be the Tigers' highest score this year.
And he's got there, he's going back for his fifth. He's going to kick from 52 metres out directly in front, aided by the breeze. So what a game it has been today for the Tigers. So in he comes. He's going to line up for, he's going to kick from around about 55, just leans back on it, and again, with no strength left in the leg, he goes through for another minor score. So 27 goals, 14, 176. Port Adelaide 14, 11, 95.
They've kicked 7 goals, 9 this quarter.
16 shots at it. So Lachlan gave it to Fitzgerald, who's just ambling along. He's at half-back. He comes inboard. The kick is Smithfield crash. Good afternoon. That's how bad it was. It was a crash, but it's taken by King. He rebounds from 50. It was pretty poor as it turned out. Oh, Hinge flies from behind. Douglas, he'll get it because he just paid a bit more attention than everyone else. Goes to Cranston, who goes back to Douglas. The siren's gone. The pain is over for the Magpies. The amber fluid will be flowing inside the club rooms. The Bagels